right, Joe, season 6 is finally here, and we got 2 shows to do. Let's kick it off, Joe, with the top 5 films, anticipated films of 2025. Joe, give me that countdown.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Get over here! Hi, I'm martial art master Daniel Pacino. You know me as the original Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, and Smoke. You are tuning in to NerdCage Live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Don't miss an episode or you'll get caged. So let's finish him.
This is Anthony Marquez, better known as Kung Lao for Mortal Kombat. Make sure to like and subscribe to NerdCage Live. Be there. Us.
Hey everybody, this is Dave Niebuhr from Dog Eat Dog, and you're watching NerdCage Live. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel. These are great guys doing what they love to do.
Hi, I'm Leah Montalongo, the OG Sindel. Please like, subscribe to NerdCage Live.
This is Ernie C. from Body Count. You're tuned into NerdCage. Can you like and subscribe?
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match.
Shoot the J, Joe. Okay. Shoot it!
All right.
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe.
It's all about you.
Kaboom!
Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful.
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe. Run for your life, Joe.
Running.
Run faster. Oh no, Joe. The galaxy's doomed because of you.
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe.
Thank you.
Yo, that's diabolical. Wait. Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCage Live.
Hey guys, it's the original Shao Kahn, Brian Glenn, and I'd like you to subscribe to NerdCage Live.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Doc Coyle, the man from Bad Wolves and God Forbid. I want to let you know right now, please subscribe to NerdCage Live.
Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. This is Robert Meyer Burnett, and I'm telling you to go get in the cage, the NerdCage Live. And you watch, you like, you subscribe.
And you come back and you hear some cogent discourse about all things nerdy.
NerdCage Live, do it.
My style, my tone, what I dig is tend to be, darker featured women, and but the dance is hot, but it's cool. It's also cool. It's sexy, but it's weird.
Something about possessed dancing just like appeals to me, because I think I don't like dancing usually. People look so stupid, but where I'm like, oh, you can't even help this. Oh, I kind of dig that. Billy, why the fuck is your dog at the bank? Billy, what the fuck? Like, get your dog out of the bank. People have jobs to do. They have things they gotta get done.
I'll meet you in the middle. I think his dog should not have broke her snowman, and I don't think he should have brought it in work, but she seems like she drives slow in the left lane, so I kind of hate her also.
Wherever the red dot goes, you bang.
You know what, Val? This one's on me, okay? See me reaching for my fucking wallet?
I got a goddamn plan!
Thank you for not smoking.
What's the boogeyman?
Hi, my name is Kev Bayless, designer or redesigner of Donkey Kong, designer of Diddy Kong, Jago, Enderkuchen, and Whizpig. You can't beat me! But what you want to do is subscribe to NerdCage, the YouTube channel. Just go there, subscribe, because you know it makes sense. And that's that.
Hi, Heather the Heart here. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow NerdCage Live.
It has begun.
If what you say is true, the Shaolin
And the NerdCage
could be dangerous.
Greetings, citizens. You're now trapped in a NerdCage. We hope you have a smashing good time.
Moderator and Troll Hammer, stronger than DK Banana Simon is Joe of FallenOne Gaming. What's going on, my dude?
Dude, tonight is epic. Season 6 has kicked off, and we have some awesome guests here. We got Lance Velchik from Needlessly Nostalgic and Joe Blow Celebrity Interviews. We have WilldBand, and we have Sean Wick from JT is Reborn. How you fellas doing tonight?
Good. Doing good. Excited to be back in the cage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
In the chat tonight, we have Artar11, and I'm sure we have a lot of lurkers, and our regulars are right on the way. Yes. Yes, we will be doing more X-Men Legends 2.
Then Tuesday on Twitch.
More Donkey Kong Country Returns in HD.
And then next Saturday, February 15th, top 5 games.
Yes, top 5 games of 2025.
And of course, Joe, the first spoiler discussion of 2025, Monday, February 17th.
Yeah, spoiler discussion for Captain America Brave New World.
Yeah, so that'll be a fun discussion. And of course, go!
Yes, if you want to get us on X, where we're streaming right now, or on Instagram, both handles are at @nerd_cage. Our link to our Discord is in the description. Become a member there as well. And our Facebook discussion group, that is NerdCage Nation. We love everything you guys put up there. No spoilers, no politics, and for God's sakes, keep it civil. Jay, you're muted. There you go.
Just mute him and dub him over.
Yeah. Dub him over like a bad kung fu movie.
Oh, like Kung Pao. Here we go! Karate Kid Legends in theaters May 30th. So,
there we go.
Yeah.
It's number 4 on my list, and I'm a big Cobra Kai Karate Kid fan. Actually, I was just while I was at work, I was listening to Cobra Kai. Like, I was kind of starting the series over while I just kind of want to revisit it before the final batch of episodes come out next week. I have met Machio, I've met Martin Kove, and Zabka. But like Zabka, like this was like before Cobra Kai, so I talked to him for a good like 10 minutes. Is that like my first Comic-Con I went to? Very nice, very awesome dude. But Cobra Kai is like one of my favorite shows out there. It has jumped the shark, but at this point I'm like, you're season 6, you might as well just go all in on the wackiness. But I am excited to see what they do with Karate Kid Legends, because they're merging the Miyagi timelines with like Jackie Chan's, which I was kind of surprised that they're doing, but it looks to be a little bit more gritty, a little bit more serious, going kind of overseas and taking a bit of a different approach. I know it's set like 3 or 4 years, I guess, after the events of Cobra Kai, so 3 years, yep. But it's gonna be cool seeing Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio like coming together. Now, my anticipation would probably be higher if we weren't like still like a few episodes left with Cobra Kai. So I got to see how Cobra Kai ends before we really jump into this one. Then I'll start to jump into the hype, because I'm like, you're already advertising something like 3 years in the future before I finished Cobra Kai. So like, I almost wish they would have dropped the trailer right after, like next week. Like just have it drop like next weekend or something, right when Cobra Kai finishes its episodes. Then the hype would have just been like exploded. But we'll see how they like land with Cobra Kai's finale. But I am really looking forward to Karate Kid Legends. Hopefully, like, I know he's not like advertised for the movie, but I hope Johnny makes a cameo somehow.
Please.
Dude. I'm gonna I will put this on air, I guess. I'm probably the only kid that was born in the mid '80s that does not like the Karate Kid.
Oh wow.
I that being said, it's not something I don't talk shit about it though, because it ain't my bag. But I love anything that's like from that era that has a long legacy. I love that people get career resurgences. So like, I'm not a fan of Ralph Macchio in the sense of like I like him. Like I'm, I'd put more like Mike's and Vinny. Over a Karate Kid, but I also, but I'm saying like I'm actually happy that they brought it back on YouTube, made the bad guy the lead character, and it did well. That's fucking cool, because there's a lot of shows out that really just suck to come back, and I would say everything besides I'm assuming Karate Kid, Twin Peaks, and Ash vs. Evil Dead. I'm sorry, I'm the most anti. Let's revisit shit, because I think we never get it right and we just taint it. Star Trek and Star Wars are really good examples of like, oh, you want more, and then it's like, nah, we're good. Mm-hmm. It's like the later ends of Arrested Development. It's like, maybe we should just end at season 3. So I don't give a shit. I hope it's good because you guys seem to like it. I love Jackie Chan and I want him to have money. So that would be the most, I guess. I'm not upset, until he's done something bad. He ain't like he's not being accused right now. So it's like,
hey,
go do your
Rush
thing,
Hour
buddy.
4 soon. I need it. Please.
Guys, number 3 sucks.
3 is hilarious. Like 3 is like it's my least favorite of 3.
Same.
Yes, but that's a downward trajectory.
He is me.
What's the
I'm
taste
you.
going to be up here? I'm the cynic, guys. I'm going to be the cynic here. I'm sorry.
For me, this is my number 7 on my top 10 for 2025. I am also a massive Cobra Kai fan. I'll be very curious to see how this continues from the show. I know it won't directly tie into the events of the show, at least not like directly or not like it's not like based off the ending, but I'll be curious to see how everything falls into place after the series finale next weekend. But yeah, I liked the 2010 Karate Kid reboot make thing, whatever you want to classify that as. Jackie Chan was great in that movie, probably the best part in the movie. And of course, I loved watching all 4 Karate Kid movies growing up as a kid. So between those movies, the 2010 movie, Cobra Kai, I'm very excited to see a new Karate Kid movie coming out in like 3 months.
Excellent. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my mic here because everyone keeps saying there's squeaky noises coming from my end here, so I'm trying to fix it. Joe, go ahead. I know this was on your list too.
Yes, this is number 3 on my list, and dude, like WilldBand said, I like the old style Karate Kid movies along with the 2010 movie, and Cobra Kai is one of my favorite of all time. So I'm very excited for this, and I love that they're bringing both worlds together. So, dude, count me in.
Absolutely. All right. This was not on my list. So yeah, I just had to turn my mic off and turn it back on. Apparently that fixed it. But yeah, this was not on my list. But I will go see it. Here's the thing. I like Karate Kid. I like Cobra Kai. I did not like, okay, this is coming from a diehard Jackie Chan fan. I did not like the Jackie Chan Karate Kid movie. So crossing them over, I don't know. I'll go see it, but I wasn't asking for it. I almost feel like this should have just been a Netflix movie, not a theatrical movie. But we'll see how it goes.
Sony's got to make that money, man, because Craven was awful.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll go see it, but I have next to like not zero excitement. I'm just like, okay, I'll go see it, but I'm not like, oh, can't wait to go see this goddamn movie.
Fair.
All right. I guess we can move on to our number 4 now. Let me make some adjustments here. Oh wow. There we go. Oh, that's why. There. Sorry. And here we go at number 4. What the hell is it? Boom. Okay, here we go. Our number 4 here. And again, I'm going in skeptical, but I'm excited. Mortal Kombat 2, the sequel, October 2025, is our number 4. I'm just going to go right ahead over to Joe. Go ahead, Joe. Your thoughts on the Mortal Kombat sequel. You know, you and I kind of have our thoughts on the first movie.
You know, I really hope they redeem themselves from the mistakes they made in the first one. And I really also hope that Carl Urban nails it as Johnny Cage, because I love Carl Urban. It's a little weird to have him as Johnny Cage, but I think he can pull it off.
Very well said. And I'm going to go over to Lance now. Your thoughts on the Mortal Kombat sequel.
Okay, guys. I've come to realize that you are a big Mortal Kombat page. And so I have no right speaking on this, because there are mythologies and stories that I love deeply, where like somebody goes and wants to make a movie in my playground, you do it right. We dance, we don't dance. I love the Mortal Kombat that came out in 21. I did. I thought it was fun. I'm not saying it's perfect. I mean, obviously some CGI, some boring main character doesn't exist. I get the issues. But I just had a lot of fun, man. I don't know. I love the first season of the YouTube show. I saw Mortal Kombat and Annihilation, which is dog shit, in theaters when I was a kid. So it's like and the first 3 mean a lot to me. I mean, I think Mortal Kombat is born for trilogy, because that was like the youth of my life. So I'm super excited, because I just want a gory, mean, show the actual tournaments. Yeah. I swear and be slightly offensive. I kind of like that. I like that vibe. The vibe was something I was surprised at. So keep that, sharpen it, take out that stupid fucking UFC guy, whatever his name is.
Cole Young.
Could have been Johnny Cage from the beginning. I mean, or at least put him to like, what is it, Rose from...
Kill Cole
Young.
Young.
Just put him back. Like, have him be like, okay, guys, I'm going to stay back and man the computers. Good luck in the tournament. Like, have him do that, and I'm cool. But I'm excited, man. You know what? They just be fun in life. And Mortal Kombat is something we've barely touched outside of a YouTube show for 2 seasons, 2 movies in the 90s, and this. So it's like, I'm okay with more, because I think this is something you can kind of mess around with and redo and fix. It's not as deeply, it's not like a drama, like you're fucking up the stand. It's like, you know, Mortal Kombat, this one could be completely different and nobody's going to care. They're like, awesome, good Mortal Kombat. So I'm excited. That's where I stand. I know it's not popular, and I apologize bringing my opinions onto a Mortal Kombat channel. I know.
No, you're good. Like I said, I was the big. The thing is, I was like the biggest. Like, I felt like I led that hype train a few years back, And then I was like very, very, very critical. Well, I felt deflated, and then I really like criticized the movie. So yeah.
Dude, I'm a Dark Tower fan. I had a Dark Tower movie. Your anger at Mortal Kombat is well directed that movie. I've said some fucking things, man. So don't worry, I get it. You know.
Yeah.
I get
Okay.
it, yeah.
Sean of JT is Reborn, Mortal Kombat 2, October 2025 is our number 4 most anticipated. Your thoughts?
It was number 9 on my top 10 list, but I am looking for it. I actually did like the 2021 film. I don't understand why the character of Cole Young was even in the movie. I feel like not having Johnny Cage really upset me in it because I feel like he's one of the core essential characters within Mortal Kombat. Love the fatalities in it. The fight scenes were pretty good overall. The fatalities were pretty awesome. Could improve some things a little bit. Didn't feel like a complete movie, obviously, because they're setting up, like, the tournament wasn't really there. It was kind of the pre-tournament of sorts. I loved Hiroki Sanada as Scorpion. Like, he was my favorite part of the movie without question. I love Scorpion. I even dressed up for him as Halloween. And like I said, I've been a Mortal Kombat fan for many years. I'm not as deeply entrenched with the lore as others, but, you know, I grew up playing, like, the first couple games, and I have Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. I think I have Mortal Kombat X and, like, maybe a few others. But, you know, Mortal Kombat, once that theme music kicks in, like, they got to fix the theme too, because, like, they got to just bust out, you know, Techno Syndrome or whatever it was, and then just play it, like, in the movie as is. Like, I don't care about the remix that they had into the movie. It was kind of just bring out the old school, because, like, when the 90s film comes on, like, that opening theme, like, man, I'm really hyped, even if, you know, the movie's less than stellar. But it is a guilty pleasure. I mean, the guy who played Shang Tsung in that was absolute perfection. Like, he was so good that they brought him back for, like, I think it was a Mortal Kombat Legacy, was it? The show?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So I think
Season 2 of Legacy.
There's certain actors that are just born for those roles. Like, he was just born to play Shang Tsung. Like, he was so great, like, in that movie. Yeah. And like I said, I did admire some of the practical effects, but there's some pretty bad CGI. I mean, Mortal Kombat Annihilation is... it's funny, but it's atrocious.
Yes, it is. All right, well... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Carl Urban is Johnny Cage, though. I don't know. I'm a pro wrestling. Like, I feel like The Miz looked like Johnny Cage more than Carl Urban. So, but if he could, like, he could pull it off, like, the asshole bit pretty well. But I don't know. Carl Urban is Johnny Cage. I like Carl Urban. Not sure.
It will test his range for sure.
Yes. I don't know who I should have. Glenn Powell could have been a good Johnny Cage.
Okay, my main gripe, it's not so much Carl Urban. I love Carl Urban. My gripe is Carl Urban is well into his 50s, and Jessica McNamee, who plays Sonya, she's like 29 or 30. So there's like a 20-something age gap between Johnny Cage and Sonya. So are they gonna, like, are they not gonna get involved with each other like that? But the age gap is a little, I don't necessarily
I will say,
the
Carl
age gap.
Urban, without his beard, he does look younger.
He does look younger.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, hopefully we get a trailer soon. I mean, it's out in October. I expect sometime in June we'll get a trailer.
They don't have, like, long gaps for trailers like they used to anymore. They condensed it down.
Yeah. Wow, Ben, go ahead, man. What's your thoughts on the Mortal Kombat sequel?
I did not have this one on my list. I also was a fan of the 2021 movie. Like, this, when that first trailer dropped for it, I immediately boarded the hype train. I bought Mortal Kombat 10. So I was like, okay, I'm in on this. So, plus, I quickly grew to love Liu Kang as a character. So I thought he was done justice in the 2021 movie. Seeing him do his fatality on screen was awesome.
Yes.
So, yeah, I will definitely probably go check it out once it comes later this year. But there are some other movies on my list I'm a little more excited for.
Fair enough. Like I said, I just reiterate, like, I led that hype train, and I was kind of like, I just hope it's better than the first movie. Just be decent. Yeah. I don't want this movie to be bad because I don't want to wait another 30 years for another Mortal Kombat movie. So, like, please be good.
I will give the filmmakers this. It seems like they're trying to take the source material and the making of these movies seriously. They're not, like, trying to do a cash grab. They're actually, like, putting work into the casting, the sets, also actual sets, not a mostly green screen, like, Hollywood blockbuster. And the casting, like, aside from Carl Urban, he's the only one's like, Carl Urban.
They need star power.
Johnny Cage.
They need star power. Mortal Kombat needs star power. I'll be the first to admit that. So
fair, but just like there's like 3 other actors I would have put, like, even before him. Like, I don't know. Hopefully
Nicolas Cage is Johnny Cage.
But the guy they got playing Shao Kahn, I'm excited to see what he does.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how good of an actor he is, but he definitely has the look for it. So
We'll see what happens.
just be decent. But don't worry, I promise you we will cover that. That being said, let's move on to our number 3. And now, yes, I see you in the chat, VCG cosplay. Like, this was a missed opportunity, but
Hey, Vinny.
I'm going based on our rankings here. But at number 3 is Fantastic Four First Steps. Sorry we missed that opportunity, but I'm going to go ahead, WilldBand, go ahead and take it away, man.
All right, I have Fantastic Four as my number 4. That was not intended; it just happened that way. But yeah, honestly, like the casting, I know actually me and VCG Cosplay actually talked about this the other day. Pedro Pascal was not my first pick as Reed Richards, but I'm willing to see what he has to do with the role. Plus, he already has that contract with Disney, so whatever. Vanessa Kirby, I have no opinion on. Let's see what she does with Sue Storm. I loved.
She was really good in Napoleon.
Okay.
Yeah, just want to point that out. That's the only thing I've seen her in. Sorry to interrupt, but
no worries. I love Joseph Quinn. I loved him in Stranger Things, and I'm very curious to see what he does as Johnny. Didn't get much flavor from him from the trailer that just came out, but okay, I like the actor. Let's see what he does. The actor playing the Thing, I don't remember how his name goes. It's like 3 names, whatever. Eben Moss something. Cool. We'll see what he does with Ben Grimm. He looks great. Like that, the design they gave for the Thing looks great. We're getting a good-looking Galactus for once.
He's supposed to be a cloud.
Never again. But yeah, no, that trailer that just dropped the other day, I got excited. Like, it looks pretty good. So, like, okay, Marvel, let's see what you do for take 3 of Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, actually, yeah, take 3. 1, 2, 3. That 4 technically if you count the Corman film.
I mainly say like the duology from the 2000s, the Fantastic reboot, and then this one.
Okay.
We'll have to wait and see. But Lance, I know we've been covering this on Joe Blow. What's your thoughts?
Feel bad. I'm so sorry, guys. You pulled like the one guy who does it. I'm not a comic movie guy, dude. I saw the trailer and was like, I hope it makes everybody else happy. I like the Corman one. I like Edward Pune's Captain America. Like, I'm not a comic book guy, dude. So it's like, I don't know. I like the vibe of it. I'll give you that. I like it in the 60s. That seems kind of cool. But I'll be honest, I'm not going to see it. So let me know if my guy from The Bear, the cousin, does well as a Thing. That's my biggest concern. I hope he makes some money and I hope he does good, because I like him on the show.
No, that's well said. I knew you were just like, oh. So that's why
No. I love it. I just feel bad because it's like everybody knows these names and like it's they connect to this. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. I think I saw Iron Man once. I don't know, man. I like Banner's the Hulk. I'm the fucking worst guy in the show, you know.
All right, Sean, you and I had a private conversation about this film, so go ahead.
It's not in my top 10. I'm kind of burnt out on the MCU, but the trailer looked actually halfway decent. Like, visually it looks nice. I feel like distancing it from the current slop that is the MCU right now, kind of have that retro, almost felt like a Brad Bird Incredibles like vibe to it.
100%.
Visually it looked nice. I like the design of the Thing. I don't like the voice though. I was spoiled with Michael Chiklis in the 2000s films. I thought he was honestly like stage one of those films, but like I felt like him and Johnny were like 2 of the standouts in that. Like they were fantastic. Oh, I guess I said the pun. But yeah, like I just feel like what I would do is I'd just have Michael Chiklis come in and secretly redub the whole movie when he's in the Thing persona, and then we're all set. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, you couldn't have given like having just a normal voice. I'm like, I'm getting Korg vibes with this, and you don't want to remind me of Korg from the Thor movie.
No, I got the same gripe, bro. Like I loved. Look, first and foremost, I was expecting this to be crap when like the trailers. I was blown away. I really was.
Yeah.
My thing is too. I'm a huge Michael Chiklis fan. Shout out to The Shield. He also was a great Curly Howard in the Three Stooges biopic.
Oh my god.
But like I said, I grew up with Michael Chiklis. I love him. And when he was the Thing, I'm like, yes. And then when he had that voice. So my thing is, if you're gonna mutate to a giant rock monster, and your voice is gonna change. So I have a huge problem with that goddamn voice. Also, another thing that kind of bothers me is the Thing is supposed to be big like the Hulk, and looking at the
Not
photo,
always.
but in the picture here, he's shorter than everybody else. He's not. He's like
No, because he's further back. He's further
still,
back.
he's
than
not.
The other
He's
two.
not. He's supposed to be massive, and it just. That's all. I'm just a little bothered that the Thing could have been a little. I don't have to complain about how he looks. I think he looks great. I just hate the voice, and I just wish he was bigger. But goddamn, that was a good fucking trailer. Like, wow. Like, among like the upcoming superhero movies, this is probably the one I'm most excited for. That being said, Joe, go ahead. Fantastic Four at number 3.
Yeah, I love how they went back to like a retro timeline, like almost back to their roots with this one. It's gonna take a little bit for me to disconnect from the master cast that was Jessica Alba, Michael Chiklis,
Same.
Chris Evans, and all that. And the voice for Thing, I do believe, has to have a little more grit. But I'm really hoping that I have like one of these "he said the thing" moments where he does "it's clobbering time." I want to hear that. So
he kind of has to say it at this point.
Exactly, he almost has to. But I was blown away by the trailer, so I'm really hopeful for this.
Absolutely. All right. We're blazing right through these. So I guess can. Anybody got other thoughts on Fantastic Four before we move on to number 2? All right. Here we go, guys. So, if you are from Syracuse, New York, you better be goddamn excited for the number 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, at number 2, starring Syracuse's second favorite son, Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Let's motherfucking go! Yes! Joe, go ahead, kick this shit off, man, because you're,
Yeah, like I told you off air the other day, I have to re-binge all of the Mission Impossible movies before I see this. But, dude, Final Reckoning, I'm all in on this. Tom Cruise does like his own stunts and everything. I can't wait to see if he jumps off buildings or slides on motorcycles or whatever he's gonna do in this one. I'm pleasantly surprised to see what he's got. So.
All right, Sean of JT's Reborn, go ahead, man. I'm going to you.
This was my number 1 on my list, only because number 2, it's that optimistic, because I know this one's going to be good. I mean, they've consistently delivered on Mission Impossible movies, really since the third one. First one, so-so. Second one, ridiculous, but it's John Woo. 3, I really liked. I actually like 3 more than 4, but then 5 onward, they seemingly kind of get better as they go about. And Tom Cruise is so committed to making really good movies nowadays. Aside from The Mummy 2017, he's been on one of the best runs you could ever be on the last couple of years. He's just been unstoppable. I mean, Top Gun Maverick, I loved the hell out of it. The Last Mission movie was fantastic. It's kind of funny how there was Dead Reckoning Part 1, but then it didn't do as well, which I'm kind of if they would have pushed that release date to November, it would have done so much better. But it just and then they kind of retroactively changed the title to just Dead Reckoning instead of Part 1 now, which is going to be funny, just watching the Blu-ray and it says Part 1. It's not really anymore. Here's Final Reckoning. But I kind of hope that this is the swan song for the series, because
it's gotta be.
I know it's because they're because Tom Cruise is when he was talking about it, I was well, Harrison Ford was doing it since he was in his 80s. I got to keep up with him. No, Tom, just it's okay. You can let it go. You can go out on a high note.
This isn't Marvel. You don't have to do it till you're 90.
Right. And I'm 90. What other crazy stuff? Because apparently for some of the test screenings, people were having anxiety attacks because he's hanging from this private this tiny plane. And he's just being flung around and all that. And, that's Tom Cruise really doing that. But God, the last one was so good. But it's tough for me to go between 6 and 7. Which one was the better one? Because Fallout or Dead Reckoning, but I thought they were so good. But this one,
Dead Reckoning was so great.
Like I said, I know this one's going to be great. I just know it's going to deliver because they just he's the consistent need to deliver high quality films. You can see it from him. So this one I know is a guaranteed really good one. Well, just a matter of if it's going to be the best one. So I have complete faith in this one to be good though.
All right, hey Lance, I'm going over to you, man. Mission Impossible is our number 2. Go ahead.
I feel embarrassed because when I was making this real quick, I forgot about this, or it would have been, it would have been up there.
Damn, this could have been number 1. If you put this on, it would have been number 1. God damn it.
I forgot about. I was there's a lot of things coming out.
It's okay. It's okay.
So, I remember when Mission Impossible first came on VHS, this brand new movie. Me and my dad went, and there was 100 copies, all of them out, and we fucking went back like 4 times that weekend to get it. So I've been watching these 2 on in theaters. You know what's crazy? Is I grew up in a Bond family, right? I was a big Bond guy. I grew up, I mean, I'd be fucking, outside of GoldenEye, I'm talking like, it's just been a part
Hey, I
of my
was
life.
named after Sean Connery. I mean, I know all about Bond.
Okay, but so when Mission Impossible kept going, I was like, oh, it's cute. They're trying to make an American Bond. At this point, I would say Mission Impossible movies are far more consistent. I think Cruise, honestly, I mean, Bond has a lot of legacy. That's awesome. I'm not comparing the two, but I'm saying this is our version of Bond. This is what we're doing. This is our spy.
Yeah.
And because of Cruise being an absolute nutso and understanding, I always put them with like Gibson, where it's like they're maniacs, but they understand the story.
Yes.
And these are consistently the most entertaining, charming, funny movies with gritty, practical action, that I can relate to, that I can feel immersed in. That's not fucking MCU, and I hate this blue screen shit. I want somebody like risk an arm. Like if your fucking stunt double dies, then God bless. That's for the movie business, man. It's like, not that I want people to get hurt, but I'm saying that I want that sort of 70s, 80s style filmmaking, and I feel like Cruise is giving that. And his life, every time he does it. I love the idea that he does one stunt, but even if he didn't, he still understands pacing and storytelling. And dude, what series has just kind of gotten better? And I love the first. I'm gonna fucking throw that out there. The first is very important to me. It's a cool little spy thriller. But I mean, if we're 7 in and 7 isn't the here we go, guys. It's like, oh, it could be the best. 6 might be the best. 5 might be the best. Like, it's like, what kind of trajectory goes upwards in movies? It's never fucking happened. So yes, man, I'm down. Let's rock and roll. I'm here for Cruise giving his life. He's crazy, and you know what? God bless.
Cruise needs to direct a movie.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get to WilldBand, we got Wes Jones of the Real Talk podcast in here. How are you, man?
Excuse my slow Southern drawl with all these quick sounds like Northern accents we've got going on here. but yeah, no. Thanks for inviting me. It's been a while since we've been on. Joseph, good to see you too, buddy. It's been a while, but yeah, just excited to be here. Talk about the year that was. Well, y'all are talking about the year to come, but
yeah. But that's okay. I'm assuming you've heard of a movie called Mission Impossible, so I want you to give us your thoughts on Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, which is coming out in May.
Well, this would be my most anticipated film of this year, simply
So this
because...
should be number 1, guys. We should retcon this to number 1.
It's too late now,
It's
Jay.
now number 1.
We were this close. That's okay. That's okay.
I mean, I went to go see Mission Impossible in the theater back in 96 and saw Mission Impossible 2 in the theater. And so I followed this, this series along really, since Tom Cruise got involved. And I'm with you guys. It's just, it has been an upward trajectory and I get more and more excited. Now, my favorite is Rogue Nation so far. I think it was the best movie. Now, the Fallout probably had the best action scenes and stuff in it, but I just like the story more in Rogue Nation. But I also really enjoyed the last one. That train stuff was amazing, hanging off the cliff. So no, I'm really looking forward to this. I hate that Tom Cruise is really hit the Mission Impossible stride over the last decade or so, and he's now in his 60s, so he can't keep going. Well, he can, but it's going to be less and less believable. But I think he is a vampire. I mean, he looks pretty good to be his age. But yeah, I'm pumped for this one. My most anticipated. And Jay, I'll throw out one more. Most anticipated. And I hate to do 2 sequels, but man, I'm really kind of pumped about 28 years later. As a horror fan, I'm really pumped about that because they've got the returning group. You got the director coming back. You've got some of the actors. You've got is Alex Garland? Is he screenwriting this too? I think he's involved too.
Directing. I think he's just directing. I don't know if he wrote.
I thought Danny Boyle was directing. Maybe not.
Oh,
I think Garland wrote the script though.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, they've got the major players back from the original movie, which I've actually got a zombie shirt on right now, Night of the Living Dead. But I think 28 days later, I think is the best zombie movie. So I'm pretty pumped about this.
Yeah, they shot this back to back with another sequel, but it's like Neil DaCosta's directing that one, and then I guess Danny Boyle will direct a third one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a
28 years later,
trilogy. It's going to be a trilogy, apparently. This is supposed to set off a trilogy, from what I understand. And two of the films are coming out this year, and then the third one's coming out next year in 2026, if I'm not mistaken.
Too much, most anticipated, just because I knew I wouldn't be here for most of it. But those are the ones I'm really excited about right now.
Excellent. All right, wow, man, we got Tom Cruise, Syracuse's second favorite son, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Number 2, go ahead, spill it.
I've seen Ghost Protocol and only Ghost Protocol.
That's okay. That's
good.
okay.
It
You
makes
know
you
what?
better now. Yeah,
we'll lead the cult and whatnot, and we'll bring you in somehow.
I mean, I kind of wanted to keep up with these movies because I loved Ghost Protocol. And like, okay, next one comes out, we got Henry Cavill.
Paramount Plus.
All right, cool.
Paramount Plus, man. You can binge them on Paramount Plus, all of them.
Get the Blu-ray set for like the 6 movies. I got that for like $20.
There you go.
But yeah, just like, not that I didn't want to see the movies, I just never did. I saw the 4th one, I liked it. Supposed last one's coming out, cool.
All right, before we move on to our number 1, I think we all can figure out what it is. But I'm just gonna say this right now. I have a message for Tom Cruise. If that 0.00001% chance you are watching Mr. Cruise, I have a message for you. And here's my message to Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, we love you. We accept you. Okay, I don't care how crazy. I don't care how many couches on Oprah you jump on. I don't care. You're the hardest working dude in Hollywood. But here's what I have to say to you, my guy. Listen, we all know in your 60s, stop trying to look young. Like, let the gray hair flow. Let your scrotum hang low. Let the wrinkles flop in the wind when you're doing your stunts. I would embrace my old age. If I'm still kicking ass and doing stunts in my fucking 60s, showing up these dudes half my age, I would just let my fucking gray fly, man. Tom Cruise, we accept you. Stop trying to look young and shit. We accept you, man. Just let your wrinkles fly, bro. That's all. That's my only problem with Tom Cruise. There's no shame in hiding your old age. Fuck. You're amazing.
Rants. They're just kind of come out of nowhere. You're just ranting that Denzel Washington rant the last time I was on.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And Jay, I know you hate this show, but shout out to Seth MacFarlane. We want more tiny Tom Cruise.
I'm just saying, man, what he does is amazing. Okay, I may be a little biased here because he's a hometown hero, but come on, man. Like, Tom Cruise, just like I said, embrace your age, because it's just amazing you're still doing what you do. That's all. That's all. I'm just throwing it out there. All right. So, are there any wild guesses of what number 1 is?
Is it Avatar 3?
I kind of wish it was, but as someone who's a Zack Snyder fan and a Henry Cavill fan, this kind of y'all piss me off. So at number 1, coming out in July, directed by the immature James Gunn, we got Superman coming out in July. So since Wes just got here, I'm gonna go to you first, man. So Wes, what's your thoughts on the upcoming Superman film?
Not real big on the superhero genre. I've said it on here a whole bunch. My son is 6 now, and he's really gotten into comic book movies, and we were actually watching some Star Wars a little earlier, and I'll take him to go see it because I think it's something that he will enjoy. I don't really care that much about James Gunn, honestly.
Thank you.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by the movie. We'll probably go see it, but it's not. I mean, if I were to make a top 20 list for tonight, it probably wouldn't have been on there at all. So sorry, guys, if y'all compiled it and it's y'all's number 1. It's just not. I'm just not that big. I'm just not that into the superhero stuff. I just don't really do it.
All good. I'm just gonna get this over. I'm going right over to Sean. Number 1, Superman.
Okay, I had this number 2 on my list, mainly because Mission has been consistent with its quality. Like, that one to me is a guaranteed, I know that one's going to be good. Superman is the big up in the air thing. I mean, James Gunn has, like, I feel like he hasn't really, like, made a movie I would say is bad. I wasn't a huge fan of Guardians 2. I like Guardians 3 quite a bit. I love The Suicide Squad, and I love Peacemaker, and, Creature Commandos, it was a little bit short, but there's still some really good elements. I think the Weasel episode was the strongest. I don't know if anybody else watched it. So I'm really looking forward to Superman. I feel like I've kind of gotten tired of the jaded cynicism in a lot of like superhero movies over the last several years. I mean, everyone thinks like, you know, things like The Boys or whatever, you have kind of the anti-Superman. I kind of feel like Superman, a movie done well, like you have a hero that's kind of that kind of classic, like altruistic, aspirational type hero coming in as like kind of like the counter to like this kind of jaded, like cynical approach to superheroes. I think it actually like really worked because we've kind of gone the opposite of like characters like Superman in that. I mean, you look at modern movies, like, I mean, Indiana Jones brought down jaded, cynical Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, this, you know, truly hopeful hero, brought down constantly, deconstructed, yada yada. Even the Snyder stuff, like in like Batman vs Superman, really had to do a lot of that deconstruction stuff, made Superman all kind of mopey and emo. And I feel like if Superman was more upbeat, that would have like made the conflict more interesting, where they're a little bit more contrasting. Sorry, Jay, I know you're a big Zack Snyder fan.
Okay.
And there's things he's done that I've liked. I really love Watchmen, and I do like Man of Steel. I hate the Kents in that movie, but like, you know, I like Cavill and I really like Michael Shannon, and the action's amazing. But this movie, like, it needs to, this is the one where like everything's kind of riding on, like, this is kind of the make or break movie for the superhero genre, like as a whole. Like if Superman does well, and if it's good and well received, the genre is going to keep going, I think, for the foreseeable future. Like this is one that has to be good. Like it actually, you know, it has to be great. Like good is just not enough. Like I want a great Superman movie, because like Superman's like the OG superhero basically. Like he's the one that like everyone should be kind of like following and see. I mean, I'm a big Batman fan. Like I like Batman a little bit more than Superman, but like I want kind of like the classic like Boy Scout, like, you know, Christopher Reeve-esque Superman. Like I like that Superman. So I like the fact that he's different from Batman. I don't want him kind of like down and out and like, oh, I can't really do this. Oh, I can't save my dad in a tornado or whatever. Sorry, Jay. But yeah, like I want like the classic superhero like back. Like I want a hero that you can kind of just has this innate goodness within them that makes the difficult choice of like doing the right thing when nobody else will. Somebody who people can kind of look up to kind of inspire. Yes, like they're doing things that may seem unrealistic and may seem unattainable, but the whole point is like to try to like aspire to be like that level of good. So, but like I said, I want a really great Superman movie. So hopefully it is.
Okay, no, well said. I have my thoughts on it, but I'm gonna go over to Lance. So we got Superman ends up being our number one. Lance, what's your thoughts on Superman? Go ahead, whatever.
I love Christopher Reeve. He seemed like a sweet guy. His documentary is actually one of the best movies I've seen last year.
Good.
Brought me to tears. I don't give a fuck about Superman. It ain't my bag. Never has been my bag. I'm not a hopeful guy. I mean, that's an element of things that just don't resonate with me. I mean, it's not a bad thing. My dad watched him growing up. I would say everybody I know loves it. So I'm actually rooting for this movie just because it seems to be there's a weird backlash, but I also have no dog in the race. I don't give a shit. I didn't give a shit about the last one. I didn't give a shit about the Brandon. I didn't give a shit about 4, 3, and 2 of Reeves. So it's like, I guess I'm not the guy, man. I like Batman. He's like my dude. So I hope it does well, or it doesn't. I don't know. I forget. Do we hate this or not? I mean, depending on fucking who opens Twitter. So I hope half you love it. I hope the people who don't are right. I don't know, man. I don't know.
We will see.
People are too angry about dumb shit. You know. So I don't know. Sorry. That's all I got, man.
No. I loved everything you said. WilldBand, go ahead. We got Superman at number 1.
This is my number 2 for this year. I've been following, like, ever since James Gunn announced that he was doing a Superman movie, like, okay, I like the first Guardians. I like Guardians 3. I liked his Scooby-Doo movies. I liked The Suicide Squad. I haven't watched Peacemaker. I want to watch Creature Commandos. He's the new head with Peter Safran of the new DC Studios. So, all right, let's see what happens here. But that first trailer, man, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm immediately on this hype train. I cannot wait for July. I don't know much about David Cornsweet's acting, but like with the clean look he has as Superman, I'm like, okay, he looks the part. Let's see what he does. We already got Supergirl filming, so if this tanks, I'll be very curious to see what happens to that movie.
Tax write-off.
Well, she's actually in this. She's actually in this movie too.
Right.
So,
yes.
So I don't know. I feel like this has dark universe written all over it, where they had all these movies and actors planned for these whole movies, and the first movie didn't hit. And I have a feeling that's gonna happen again.
We'll see.
So anyway, before I dish further thoughts, Joe, go ahead.
All right, so this didn't hit my top 5. It was my number 6. Not digging the suit. And am I the only one that actually digs Crypto more than Superman in this?
Nah,
I do love Crypto, though.
I don't like that he's shaggy, but I don't hate it enough to
Wait,
like.
that's not what Crypto looks like, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's still, it's still Crypto. But I mean, I'm interested to see where this goes. James Gunn is hit or miss, but I'm hopeful. We'll say that. But Christopher Reeve will always be my Superman.
He's still the
And
goat.
as far as Supergirl goes, I may be the only one in this group that actually enjoyed the CW, and Melissa Benoist will always be my Supergirl. So, there, I said it.
Okay. All I'm gonna say is, and I'm gonna be nice, because this is NerdCage Live. I have to go see this movie. We will do a spoiler discussion.
There we go.
What?
Imagine if this movie's good and Jay likes it. Like, that'll be like...
I will admit it.
Hell will freeze over, I think.
Listen, I will, if I like it, I will stand right in front of everybody and I will embrace it and I will say it. Even as a diehard Snyderhead and Cavill fan, I will man the fuck up and I will admit I was wrong. But I'm saying this right now. I don't like how James Gunn has handled anything so far when it comes to DC. Like, the whole announcing everything and then like talking about, oh, you gotta go see these movies. Oh, the Flash was the best superhero I ever seen, and you gotta go see. And then
He didn't say it was the best.
but you know what I mean. That the dude was smelling his own farts and he was trying to get everybody sold on everything. And he goes, oh, don't worry, when this is over, then my universe is gonna start. And like I said, the man is so goddamn juvenile. Like, I don't want. Listen, Peacemaker's one thing, Guardians is one thing, because that's his vibe, that's his style, that's his maturity level. Okay, I don't want cock jokes in Superman. I don't want fart jokes in Superman. I don't want this stupid humor in Superman. I really don't. And the fact that we saw this trailer with no dialogue other than Crypto, take me home. Like, there's no dialogue, which that's a red flag right there. The suit is awful. That flying scene is awful. Listen.
It's been very heavily memed lately.
Look at Henry Cavill's first flight scene in Man of Steel, and then look at this flight scene. Jesus Christ! I don't care if you hate Zack Snyder. You cannot tell me say that this is better than the way Snyder.
See, the issue too is they use a
I
wide
need
angle
more
lens up
information.
close, so his face looks stretched like this. Like, if they
Yes.
filmed it a little bit more out, it would have been better.
It
'Cause,
just
the
looks
shot
like
from behind where
his face behind a green screen. It looks
Yeah, so
terrible.
don't be cross-eyed when you do
I'm
it.
just saying, it just ugh. Like, there's nothing, and then
Well, Guy Gardner always looks stupid.
I know, but
Well, he's also played by Nathan
and then
Fillion, a big
people
old
like
dick
people
anyway.
like hold on, people like Sean cried and bitch saying, "Oh my God, Zack Snyder's cramming too many characters into his movies." But hold on, in this movie we're getting Mr. Terrific, we're getting Green Goblin, Green Lantern, like we're getting like they're cramming all these people in this goddamn movie too, and ain't nobody complaining. Like, this is supposed to be a Superman movie, but they're throwing everybody in it. Like, oh yeah, Hawkman. Also, like the CW, the CW like heroes look better than this. Anyway,
But Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor, though.
Yes.
He's a good pick.
Yes.
No, that's a good pick. And David Cohen Sweat actually looks like a good Superman. It's just, like I said, let's just see what James Gunn does with this. But based on James Gunn's immature history, I don't have any hope for this. I think Warner Brothers, thinks... You gotta understand that their bread and butter is Batman, not Superman. Which is why I don't know why Warner Brothers has so much hope for this movie. Like... Superman's not your bread and butter. Sorry. Also, we got that lawsuit coming out. So that's gonna fuck everything up. So
The same thing happened with Man of Steel. Like, it'll be
yeah,
fine.
but this time they'll win, and this movie won't be released in, Australia, Canada, whatever. So, anywho, this movie has a lot against it. But I will go see it with Joe. And by the way, Joe and I will go see it for free because I'm not giving Warner Brothers my money for what they did to Snyder. So Joe and I will go see it for free. We're not giving them their money. But we will go see it, and we
He
will
still got
cover
his cutout. Like,
So-
I mean, he got like a $70 million mulligan.
So anyway, but I'm saying that if this movie's good, I will step up and admit it, and I'll admit when I'm wrong. But right now, I'm just saying it doesn't look too good,
Well,
and the
I
outlook
hope it's
doesn't
good,
look good
Jay.
either. So
I hope it's good. I hope it's your Anton Ego Ratatouille moment when you see the film.
like I said, there's so many movies where I come in prepared to shit on, and I'm like, oh wow, this was actually a good movie. All right,
That's the best feeling. Like when
Yeah.
you go into like not expecting much, like shit, that was pretty fucking good.
Well, I'm just saying, based on what we got so far, you know, and when this movie does inevitably be bad and doesn't make money, I'm not gonna brag and say I told you so and all. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just be like, whatever. The movie wasn't good. Whatever. It was. We move on, and then you know, hopefully DC will just focus on making standalone films like, you know, the Batman Part 2, and not try to force a shared universe like Universal just tried to do a few years ago. So
2017. It was almost a decade ago.
yeah, so we'll see. But anyway, there you go, guys. That's our top 5 of 2020, most especially 2025. So yeah, I guess anybody have some closing thoughts on the list overall before we get through? Well, actually, no. We'll go through everybody go through our list and then give your thoughts overall. So, Lance, go ahead, rip through your top 10 of 2025 and give your thoughts on the list.
Man, okay. Well, listen, you invited. I'm not a contrarian, and I feel like I am on this show. I hate lists. I hate lists with every ounce of my being because I feel like it catches me on a different day, especially for things like this where it's like, I don't know, fucking trailer comes out for something tomorrow, and I'm like, oh, I'm hyped for this. Holy shit, yeah. So it's like, I don't know, man. Especially without trailers and stuff like that, it's more like
These lists are always subject to change.
yeah, and I tend to be a slightly nihilistic. So okay, I'm gonna say Until Dawn. I like a good time lift movie. That's cool. I'm a big horror guy. Look for Horror Channel. Yeah, but I never played the game. Don't give a shit about like it. So I was like, I just like that stuff. It's like Triangle. It's fun. You know, why not? The Legend of the Ochi, I'm getting a Gremlins vibe. I love a good heartfelt movie that feels like something made from the 80s, especially in the decade where children's movies were made better. Kids were put in adult situations, had to deal with life and death stuff, and I felt like it had a bit of heart. That movie looks like that to me. I'm all about that kind of style. Woman in the Yard, again, I'm a horror guy, so my list is going to be a little more horror as opposed to, comic booky. I love anything with a simple concept that seems very run and gun. Somebody's in your yard looking in, and they're a spirit, they're evil. I don't know, man. I have a deep fear of like people looking in windows. Like I get home, I'm fucking shutting windows, blinds up. I don't know. If I were to wake up and somebody's staring at it, I'd probably die of a heart attack. So just that concept works for me. I'm always rocking on it. Tone-wise, man, Death of a Unicorn. I like how this looks. I like this tone. I like, I'm a sarcastic guy. I like Ortega. I like Richard D. Grant's fucking Paul Rudd's okay, I guess. I liked him more before he's fucking Ant-Man, but whatever. I don't know. Looks cynical, looks a little nihilistic, it looks mean, and looks like there'll be a creature. I'm all about that, man. Put a monster in a movie, I'm there fucking front and center. I have Sinners, Ryan Coogler's vampire flick. I like the cinematography and I like the style. I think Coogler's good, man. Michael B. Jordan's a solid fucking dude. There's something about that. I like that vibe of like, we don't really know. You said it in the past. I'm down, dude. I'm 100% down. I'm a big Cronenberg guy. The Shrouds. I think I did the edit for the movie review for Bunbury like a year ago. But I think Cronenberg's in a great era right now. I really do. I think he's in a very, I put it like late era Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, remorseful in a way, introspective, kind of sad, fucking lost his wife. Like, okay, we're going to deal with some grief. I'm all about that. And he seems to be a little more going back to body horror. Not that it matters. Yeah. I loved him and Viggo Mortensen and his two little runs, History of Violence and the Russian one. So whatever, man, let's rock and roll. I have, of course, Mortal Kombat 2 because I just like Mortal Kombat, man. I just want people to get killed and fight and have some cool music and fucking say some shit. And honestly, my number one is Toxic Avenger. I was raised on Full Moon and Trauma. So there's a love of that VHS, real grimy, fucking low budget.
I'm definitely interested.
Movies.
I love the first movie.
Yeah, well, they're mean, they're fun, they're offensive. It's just that's an era we will never get back. It's like that drive-in shit. where it's like I grew up on it, and I know that my little brother and then maybe his kids who grew up now won't. They won't like that stuff. It doesn't make any sense. It's we've aged out, but I am still alive, and I want as much as we could bring back in whatever form that is. I'm not the giant Terrifier guy, but I love that that's messy, mean, and offensive and on big screen. So it's like Toxic Avenger was shelved, and I think because it's mean, offensive, and also gross and doesn't really fit the bill for modern cinema. And so I'm already fucking down, dude. I mean, it's punk rock. Let's rock and roll.
Let's go.
I think that's all 10. I don't have any main stuff. I forgot one more.
Yeah.
I got a wild card, buddy.
Yes.
Because this in every way is going to suck. And the only reason I'm excited is because I'm putting all on red for no good reason. This is like my child's college fund. I think the Naked Gun might be good.
I
don't know
hope
why.
so.
Because Liam Neeson, we forget, guys, like we're all the same age, I believe, because Liam Neeson my entire life was a serious dramatic actor. And everybody's like, he's an action star. And I'm like, bullshit, that's new Neeson. I'm not saying it's bad. But my entire existence was a dramatic actor. So you might appeal my grew up. It's like, oh, he's an action guy. It's like, that's old man, and he's trying to make some money. I fucking same for retirement. God bless him. I don't blame him. And I make some cheap action, pay off your kid's life, then go to bed. I think he's a good dramatic actor. I think if he plays it serious and they have that fucking deadpan humor, it could work. It probably won't.
I have hopes. I absolutely
just want to be optimistic for once in my life, and for some reason, I'm going to put it all on Naked Gun.
Ted Liam Neeson, the one scene he has, he plays it like deadpan serious. It's the funniest
great.
scene in the movie.
Is this for kids?
Yes. As much as I can't stand Seth MacFarlane, yes, that was a funny cameo. This is why I like going through everybody's list, because I want to know these movies that are coming out. I didn't know about half those movies coming out. So,
yeah.
All right, Sean, go ahead. Your thoughts on this top 5, and go rip right through your list.
All right, I'll rip through the top 5. Pretty solid thing all around. I like that we had a nice variety of it, even though I think there's maybe 1 or 2 that weren't on my list, but I can understand why they're in overall. So number 10, Predator: Badlands. I like Prey. I like Dan Trachtenberg. 10 Cloverfield Lanes, I think, is an excellent movie. I know this one's going to be set mostly from the Predator's POV, and that sounds rather interesting. I did hear recently, I forget which channel was, made a video talking about what they originally wanted to do with the Adrian Brody Predators things. And the concept for their trilogy sounded really interesting. They were gonna have Arnold coming at the end, he was initiated within the Predator clan. There was Civil War and all that. We're going to the Predator homeland. That sounded really cool. But this one, like I said, I guess it's Elle Fanning is the lead, and I guess it's set on another planet, but we're also going from the Predator's POV. I think they cracked the code with Predator sequels. Take the Predator, put them in different eras and different situations. Simple as that. Let's see what we can do with this one. Number 9, I had Mortal Kombat 2. I mean, we already talked about that, so I'll skip ahead. Number 8, this one is going to be a wild card movie, I guess. The Anaconda. I really enjoy the Ice Cube, John Voight, Owen Wilson, J-Lo. It's one of my favorite creature feature films from the 90s. I know Jack Black's in it, Paul Rudd's in it. I think it's the same guy who made An Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And I quite like that movie a bit. And I like giant snake eating people movies. I mean, I like the Python. It's like a guilty pleasure, like Python. I've seen all the Anaconda movies, even the crossover with Lake Placid. So I'm like, you know what? Give me a giant killer snake movie again. It's been a long time. So creature features, I got to have at least one on here. Number 7, since this is the end of this universe altogether, although I feel like if the original director came back, I'd be more excited for it. But this is Conjuring: The Last Rites. I thought Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, in terms of horror leads, they're one of my favorite horror couples in a movie. They just have some of the best on-screen chemistry I've seen of any movie couple, and they just have this likability with them. I wish James Wan came back to direct this one, since this is the conclusion to this universe, which is weird to think about.
It's time to wrap it up for that universe.
Right. So 3 actually was pretty decent. I thought the villain in 3 was a lot better, but it just didn't have the scare factor because James Wan wasn't directing. I don't get what his superstition is with the 3rd movie. I'm you're wrapping up your series that you started, man. But it's time to wrap up the Conjuring universe, and like I said, seeing one last adventure with these actors, and if you could just go on the right note, would be really good. Number 6, I have Ballerina from the world of John Wick. I know this one went under some big reshoots because Chad Stahelski saw it and was just no, I need to fix this, and apparently he did. So that's because I said, you have Len Wiseman, who's not a very great director in my eyes. I know he did Underworld and all that, but when he was announced as director, I'm I don't know. Chad Stahelski coming back for reshoots and fixing things. Okay, then John Wick, the world of it. I'm a big fan of it. I mean, like I said, John Wick, I've seen every movie opening night. So I'm looking forward to this one. Number 5, this will be one where I was like kind of iffy on it when it was announced a little bit, but then again, they hired a good director. I'm gonna go with Jurassic World Rebirth. Like I said, I still got it in my creature features. The thing that has me more excited about this one is Gareth Edwards is directing it, and I think if like he knows how to add like tension and suspense with his movies. He's exceptional when it comes to like directing with scale. We're gonna like this one is no fucking locusts or anywhere near this movie, which is good. We're gonna see like more of the science gone wrong aspect with it. I mean, you have that mutated dinosaur that we saw in the trailer. The effects look great. I'm hopeful for this one. It could still go wrong, and I did not like Jurassic World Dominion. I thought it was really bad. But this one I'm cautiously optimistic on. So like I mean, just like I said, I'm a Jurassic fan. Like I have to have some excitement for it. Number 4, Karate Kid Legends. I mean, we already kind of went over that. Number 3, this is kind of the one I don't know if anyone has on their list. And I don't even know if it's going to get released this year because of their issues with the ending of it. But I'm going to go with Michael, which is the Michael Jackson biopic. And the reason being, because like I'm a big fan of Michael Jackson's music. I think he's one of the most influential figures like in the history of ever. Like when we did the music industry, like he is the king of pop for a reason. He's the biggest artist of all time. And if this thing is good, this thing is easily cracking $1 billion, like without question. But it's just a matter of like what's going to happen at the ending. Like his nephew looks just like him.
Yeah.
So, and the family's involved in the movie. I don't know how the ending's going to turn out because, like I said, they've had to go. Anton Fuqua's directing
Anton Fuqua, yes.
And like I said, this one could be really, really good. And like I said, and because Michael Jackson's one of the most well-known figures in the history of ever,
and it's Oscar bait because every single musical biopic, you know,
right? Unless you have a CGI monkey in it, I guess it'll do. But this one, I think, like I said, there's a massive MJ fan base. Like, I mean, when he died, I mean, it was insane. So. But this one, I'm really looking forward to it. Like, cause like I said, I like Anton Fuqua. I think if it's done well, this could be one of the best ever. Like, and like I said, because of it's MJ's music, it's gonna be something huge. So looking forward to that. Number 2, I have Superman. Number 1, Mission Impossible. Already talked about them, so I'll move on to the next person.
All right, well, Ben, go ahead. Your thoughts on the list, and go ahead and rip through your list.
All right, good list. I think only 2 of the movies weren't on my list, but I'm still excited for everything on the movie. I think aside from Mission Impossible, not because I don't hate it, just because I didn't keep up with the franchise. But the list is cool. It's got basically a piece of us in each pick. So yeah, good list for NerdCage 2025. But for my list, number 10, we have Avatar: Fire and Ash. I enjoyed the first movie enough, so I'm like, okay. We're getting a second one. Cool. Really liked the second one, so I'm excited to see where James Cameron takes us in the world of Pandora. Number 9, I have Thunderbolts. It's gonna be called Dark Avengers. I am calling that right now. It is gonna be called Dark Avengers. The cast is fantastic. I love Florence Pugh. I love David Harbour, and I love Sebastian Stan. It'll be nice to see like all these storylines that have been converging from like so many different projects into this one movie. Number 8, I have Zootopia 2. Love the first one with all my heart back in 2016. I'm excited we are getting a sequel to this movie. Number 7, Karate Kid Legends. Already talked about that one. Moving on. Number 6, Captain America 4. Already talked about that one. Moving on. Number 5, Jurassic World Rebirth. That recent trailer, I was like, okay, this looks really interesting. Those mutant dinosaurs look. This movie is gonna be a little scary. Like, I'm excited that we're getting a little bit more horror back into the Jurassic World franchise. Like, we haven't had that really since Jurassic World 2, and I'm being generous saying Jurassic Park 2, The Lost Worlds specifically. Number 4, Fantastic Four. Already talked about that. Moving on. Number 3, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I was waiting for that first movie for the entire time it was in developmental hell, and I was satisfied with the final product we got, and I am very excited to see where we go now in the movie world of Five Nights. Number 2 is Superman. Already talked about that. Moving on. And my number 1 movie will make sense once we talk about our top 5 of 2024. But my number 1 movie for 2025 is Wicked for Good. Without going too much into my top 5 for 2024, I'm a theater person. I grew up, I watched Wicked on stage. I fell in love with that show, and seeing the first movie being handled with such love and care for the source material of not only the musical but also the book it's based on, I'm ready to cry again come November this year.
It's bound to win an Oscar, probably for best song, original song. I don't know if it's going to win any other category, but it should win best song at the Oscars.
Yeah,
and I hate The Wizard of Oz. I don't expect you to understand. No, I'm glad you like it. Long story short, Joe and I grew up in the town.
Oversaturation, Jay. We know.
Yes. L. Frank Baum was born in the town we grew up in, and I hate The Wizard of Oz. But Joe, go ahead. Your thoughts on this and rip through your list, and then I'll.
All right. I think our list is a well-rounded list, as it always is. So I'm all for it. Starting at my number 10, Captain America: Brave New World. So we'll move on. Number 9, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Number 8, Megan 2.0. Dude, the first one was nice and fun and everything, and it's a horror movie, so I had to have at least one horror flick on here. So Megan 2.0 is my number 8. Number 7, Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. I have to see how this pans out. I was a big fan of all the Leslie Nielsen stuff, so Liam Neeson, we'll see how he can do with this. I hope it does well. Number 6, Superman. We can move on from that. Number 5, Tron Ares. I want to see how this does. I was a big fan of the last Tron movie, and Jeff Bridges still got it. So
he's back for this one though.
Yeah, I know. I'm all in on this.
The only thing, like I said,
I want to see where it goes from this. You know,
the only thing that's holding me back, Joe,
curious
is Jared
on
Leto.
cameos and seeing how they play this out. So I'm really all in on that. Number 4 is Fantastic Four. I know, number 4, Fantastic Four. I had to do it. Number 3, Karate Kid Legends. Number 2, Mortal Kombat 2. And number 1, Return to Silent Hill. Silent Hill Films needs a hit. It needs to be a hit. And being that it's loosely based on Silent Hill 2, the game, I'm all in on this.
All right.
So
very
that's
good.
my list in a nutshell.
Love everybody's list. I'm just going to rip through mine. I do have one honorable mention. Well, 2 honorable mentions because I saw someone mention in the chat, and I'm like, oh, wow, I completely forgot about that. But one honorable mention because I saw someone in the chat bring it up, the third Knives Out movie. I totally forgot that's coming out this year. Otherwise, it would have been on my list. My other honorable mention, just of the sheer stupidity, I have to go see it, and that's Popeye the Slayer Man.
Oh, that's right.
I have to fucking see it. It looks stupid. I need to see it. Okay, here we go, my real list. 10, The Working Man. 9, The Bride. Bride of Frankenstein, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
8, The Running Man remake. Now listen, I love the first original, but this one's directed by Edgar Wright. My number 7, Saw 11. My number 6,
if it comes out this year.
Predator Badlands. 5, Fantastic Four. 4, Mortal Kombat. 3, Nobody 2. Number 2, Ballerina. Number 1, Mission Impossible. So yeah, my list is kind of a mixed bag here between comics, horror, and everything else here. So, all right. So listen, we're going to take a quick intermission because I got to urinate, and we're going to do our top 5 of 2024. So we will be right back. So we please ask you to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, spread that shit like syphilis, or USA from your trade land of the orange off, Syracuse, New York, to our friends around the world at NerdCage Live. As always, enjoy life, stay safe, and we will be right back in like 2 minutes.
This is Ernie C. from Body Count. You're tuned into NerdCage. Can you like and subscribe?
My style, my tone, what I dig is tend to be, darker featured women, and but the dance is hot, but it's cool. It's also cool. It's sexy, but it's weird.
Something about possessed dancing just like appeals to me because I think I don't like dancing usually. People look so stupid, but where I'm like, oh, you can't even help this. Oh, I kind of dig that. Billy, why the fuck is your dog at the bank? Billy, what the fuck? Like, get your dog out of the bank. People have jobs to do. They have things they got to get done.
I'll meet you in the middle. I think his dog should not have broke her snowman, and I don't think he should have brought it in work. But she seems like she drives slow in the left lane, so I kind of hate her also.
Wherever the red dot goes, your bane.
You know what, Val? This one's on me, okay? See me reaching for my fucking wallet?
I got a goddamn plan!
Thank you for not smoking.
What's the boogeyman?
Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. This is Robert Meyer Burnett, and I'm telling you to go get in the cage, the NerdCage Live, and you watch, you like, you subscribe.
And you come back and you hear some cogent discourse about all things nerdy.
NerdCage Live, do it.
Hi, my name is Kev Bayless, designer or redesigner of Donkey Kong, designer of Diddy Kong, Jago, Enderkuchen, and Wizpig. You can't beat me! But what you want to do is subscribe to NerdCage, the YouTube channel. Just go there, subscribe, because you know it makes sense. And that's that.
It has begun.
If what you say is true, the Shaolin
And the NerdCage
could be dangerous.
Greetings, citizens. You're now trapped in a NerdCage. We hope you have a smashing good time.
All right, for the second time, you are now about to witness the strength of Geek Nacho. Well, welcome. That's right. You are trapped once again in NerdCage Live, and this is the second part of the show. And we are going to do the top 5 movies of 2024 here. And so I'm just making some adjustments here on the fly. And we're not going to do any intros. We're just going to get right into it. So here we go. So I have to work some magic here because since I didn't get the chance to plug everything in while we were getting this ready, I'm going to plug things on the fly here. So here we go, guys. If you don't mind, there's going to be there's going to be a little bit of error here, okay? So bear with me, guys. I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can here. All right, ignore the image on screen right now. That's what we just talked about. But at number 5 for the 2024, or best movies of 2024, is actually a horror movie called Late Night with the Devil is our number 5. So go ahead, WilldBand. Did you see this movie?
I did not, but I heard a lot about it. I heard some people liked it, some people didn't. There was a possible AI image controversy thing, whatever. For me, my number 5 was actually Alien Romulus. I had a fun time with that movie. It was a nice return to horror for the alien genre. Aside from Prometheus and Alien Covenant, this was great. Amazing practical effects done by the Fede Alvarez and crew. Cannot wait for the sequel. Yeah, I absolutely love this movie. Got it on Steelbook currently, so yeah, loved it last year.
All right, so Wes of Reel Talk, we have Late Night with the Devil at number 5. Man, go ahead, dish your thoughts.
You're muted, Wes.
Wes is just figuring this out real quick. I'm making some adjustments on the fly too, so bear with me here.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, still muted.
Unless it's the program. Might be Zoom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was having issues with my mic earlier on Zoom here. Joe, go ahead. Just your thoughts real quick on Late Night with the Devil and what.
Actually, I can't really speak on this one because I didn't see it. I didn't even hear about it, to be honest. So This one's a complete blank for me.
Yeah, no, it came in theaters briefly back in February. I ended up seeing it with my mom, so I really liked it. This was actually in my top movies here. Hey, Wes, did you get it? Nah, I still can't hear you. All right, hold on, Wes. I'm gonna go over to Lance. Go ahead.
Placeholder's still there if you need it.
Yeah. Lance, Late Night with the Devil at number 5. What do you got?
So it's actually my number 5 as well. I saw this a little bit early, so I was involved in hype. I was involved in anything, no bullshit AI stuff. I just saw it and I loved it, man. I love the concept. I love the execution. I love the changing of the aspect ratios. David Dastmalchian, I think, is a great job. Probably his best performance so far. Like, I've always liked it, but like I like this range. It gets weird. It gets trippy. It gets gross. It kind of touches on all the things I like, and it's a little bit tense. I'm not really into, like it is found footagey, but it does it in a way that I like it, which is kind of breaking the rules. But I'm pro breaking rules when you make a more engaging movie. So yeah, dude, I had a blast with this. I know it got a little hype, so I hate fucking hype because it does ruin things. But I was not involved in the hype, so it is my 5 as well, buddy.
All right, Wes, check 1, 2. Yes, I now can hear you.
It's low, but
it's
I can
low,
hear
but
you.
we can hear you. We can hear you, but it's just low. But we can hear you. Now we can't.
Now not at all.
All right.
There we go. Got you. Yeah, got you.
Yeah, we're good now. There we go.
I had this movie at number 7 on my top 10 list, Late Night with the Devil, and I enjoyed the movie, but I think it was just such a unique horror film, something I'd not seen. I thought they really nailed the late night show setting, and it had a couple of pretty good scares in it. Was not my favorite horror movie of the year, but really enjoyed it. So if your audience has not seen this and you enjoy horror and you want to see something a little bit different than what normally comes to the table, I would say check this one out.
I think it's on Shudder, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we got a screener of it. I was trying to think which
I
streaming platform it was
see,
on.
we covered it on Joe Blow, so when I saw we were covering it, then I was like, oh, I want to take my mom to see it because she likes, Exorcist type movies. So I took my mom to see it.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't like it. I loved it, but she didn't like it. Sean, did you see Late Night with the Devil? This is our number 5.
I tried to watch it. The stream or whatever kept like crashing, like where I was trying to watch it, and it was like 10 minutes of logos to start the movie, and then it just kept like skipping and crashing. Like I wasn't able to watch it. So, but I heard good things about it. Maybe I'll check it out one day. But yeah, I tried to watch it, but I just couldn't get it to work.
All right, Joe, did you see Late Night with the Devil?
No, I didn't even hear about it.
Yeah, it was like one of those hidden gems, but my God, it was freaking fantastic. So, all right, I guess we can move on to our number 4 here. Now, again, bear with me because I'm swapping videos out here. So, crap, here we go. All right, guys, ignore this image on screen here. I got to swap it out. But at number 4, ladies and gentlemen of NerdCage Nation, we have The Beekeeper at number 4 with Jason Statham, action flick.
Right.
Yes. So, WilldBand, go ahead, man. The Beekeeper is our number 4.
I totally forgot this movie came out last year. I thought it came out like late 2023. I actually saw this movie with my dad. It was a fun time. Of course, Jason Statham's really good in this movie. Josh Hutcherson, an absolute prick, but fun to watch in this movie as well. Jeremy Irons, I believe, played his uncle or grandfather, one of the two. I forget which one, but I enjoyed him in the film as well. Amazing action. It's a Jason Statham movie, so it's gonna have good action. And my number 4, I actually had Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Look, I'm a giant Godzilla fan. There was gonna be on my list somewhere. But yes, I see, Sean. I'm jealous that you have something like that. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. It's not my favorite of the MonsterVerse, but I still saw it 3 times, so I liked it enough to give Legendary and Warner Brothers my money 3 times. But yeah, unfortunately, I probably will have to jump here sooner than I expected. So if it's okay, Jay, I'll just jump through the rest of my top 5.
Go ahead.
My number 3, Deadpool and Wolverine. It was a fun time in the movies last summer seeing this movie on the big screen. Cameos galore, Deadpool in the MCU finally. It was a lot of fun, and I have the Wolverine Steelbook in my collection again. Number 2, I had as Sonic 3. One of the biggest Jim Carrey fans you will find here on the internet. I almost passed out from laughter during that dance sequence with the 2 Robotniks. It was a great movie. Keanu Reeves was fine as Shadow. It was a fun movie. All the voice actors did a phenomenal job. And of course, as I alluded to earlier, my number 1 of 2024 was Wicked. Like I said, I'm a big theater kid. I was so excited to see an adaptation of this musical finally come to the big screen. I cried twice seeing it. I bought the soundtrack. I think the physical is now out to buy this week in store. So I will try and go find it either tomorrow or sometime next week. I need it. I cannot wait for part 2, Wicked for Good, this November. But yeah, Jay, Joe, thanks for having me on here on NerdCage Live once again.
And before you go, man, where can everybody find anything you want to promote? Go ahead.
You can find me here on YouTube at WilldBand. Do not forget the 2 L's. That will not take you to my channel. You need the 2 L's in Wild to find me. I am also on TikTok, WildBand24. Haven't really been posting on there a lot lately. I will soon be starting a podcast with my wife, Married Mates. So look out for all the information on where to listen to / watch that in the coming months. You can also find me on Twitter, X, Instagram, WilldBand. I'm just a guy on the internet who's having fun with his friends, watching movies, playing games, and doing whatever he wants to do here on the internet. So I probably will be back sometime later this year on NerdCage once again because you can't keep me out of the cage.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. We always appreciate you being here. You've been here since the beginning, so thank you very much for everything you do. And, of course, congratulations on the move, by the way. So
thank you much. Yeah, so and you still need to sound treat this room. It's a little echoey in here still. But, yeah, good night. Stay safe from everybody here in Phoenix, Arizona. Eat your vegetables, and have a good night, the rest of y'all.
All right, see you around, bud.
Nice to meet you.
Later.
All right, I'm gonna put my placeholder back in. Wes of Reel Talk. We have Beekeeper at number 4. By the way, I listened to your episode, so yeah, go ahead. Beekeeper at number 4.
Well, like I said on that episode, I'm just always impressed by the range that Jason Statham has. Just every movie, he's just a different character, just a different guy. A lot of sarcasm there. I didn't see this one. I think I started it maybe and got about 20 minutes in and fell asleep on the couch or something. I never finished it. Honestly, I just felt like I was watching any other Jason Statham movie. So I felt like I've seen it even though I haven't.
Well, it's so much goddamn fun. Okay, over to Lance Velchik of Needlessly Nostalgic Podcast and Joe Blow, the Beekeeper at number 4.
You know, it's funny. Tyler, my coworker and friend, showed this to me. So, you know, I was raised on, you know, the 90s action is very important. I love Van Damme. That certain run of Seagal, you know, there's a very small run, but there's fucking small run I'll still defend. You know, obviously, Schwarzenegger, Stallone, all that good shit.
On Deadly Ground, of course.
Yeah, but you know, hey, let's not pretend like we didn't all like him at one point. You know, yeah, the guy's crazy. Yeah, he's fat. And he sits down a lot. Fair enough. But we all have a run. So I'm iffy on Statham. But in all fairness, I probably never really give him a chance because it's just like that's not my guy. You know, it's not my guy. He put it on, and I got to be honest, man. Outside of some, I think CG touch-ups, maybe some background shit, like it kind of reminded me of that old school stupid stuff I used to like, where some guy gets offended. Like fucking he like hits a corporate guy in the low end and it goes all the way to the top and he has to start punching more people. It's like I had a lot of fun. I wouldn't put it on a list personally. It's not like that important, but
yeah.
I walked into it like, yeah, Tyler, fucking the Beekeeper, man. And at the end I was like, the Beekeeper. Okay, not too shabby. We're out punching people. I'm down. That guy brought me back to my youth.
It's fun. It's a man's movie.
I think people should be punched more. You know, it's like I'm down with that. That's why good for it. Solve some crimes, punch people. Yeah, I know. It wasn't bad.
All right, Sean Wick of JT's Reborn, The Beekeeper at number 4 are our top 5 best films of 2024.
This is in my top 10. I had a fucking blast. I saw it twice in theaters because like I laughed because I was going through. I like So Bad It's Good type movies, and this kind of was akin to something like that because this thing just kept escalating and escalating and escalating all to the fucking present. But see, what I really especially loved about The Beekeeper, no sympathetic villains whatsoever. These are the douchiest douchebags like villains that you could get, and it felt like something out of like RoboCop where they're just all like pieces of shit, but they're fun to watch. And they're like, these are the most despicable people. Like they like scam old people like out of money. And just watching Statham just brutally murder them. Part where I can't even say it. Where it's like the dummy gets launched off the fridge. Or where he's just at the gas station, then like these weird cartoon like characters, like the random characters just keep coming in. They're like cartoon characters. Like, some lady comes in with like a fucking like machine gun attached to the back of her car. I'm like, well, what's happening now? And it just kept escalating to get more. And then when it was revealed that like Josh Hutcherson Mob was the president, I was in tears. Like I couldn't stop laughing the whole time. And then I had to go back again to bring one of my other friends because like, dude, this is like a perfect So Bad It's Good type movie. Or just fun, ridiculous action. Like, and then like he laughed his ass off. And like to me, like I need that every once in a while. I need something.
We just want to see people get punched in the face sometimes, you know?
Right. You need something kind of like ridiculous. Like I just saw Flight Risk like a week or two ago. I laughed my ass off. That movie, it's ridiculous as all hell. But like the ending, like it was like 5 straight minutes. Like I couldn't stop like laughing. Like my friend started laughing too, because like the way, I don't, no spoilers I guess, but like a character dies in it, but it's the way it happens, because it's not what I would have expected it would have been. Had me in fucking tears. Like it was fucking so ridiculous. But yes, like it's good. You know, just go ahead and move on.
I'll probably see it. I don't want to see it in theaters. I'll see it at some point though.
All right. It has my favorite slipcover. Like I've seen, because it's like
the bald Mark Wahlberg, yeah. All right.
Mark Wahlberg.
Joe, Beekeeper is our number 4, man.
Well, first of all, I love Jason Statham movies, and this one was no different. Loads of action in it, and I love a movie where you can just unplug and just root for, you know, extreme action, just balls to the wall. And the scene where he's, you know, killing everybody in the office and just kind of get the fuck out, I'm gonna burn this place down, that was fucking awesome too. So I love this movie, and it was my number 4. So
all right, for me, The Beekeeper was my number 6. Again, this is a man's movie, and I feel like this was a good throwback to like that Van Damme Seagal, you know, not quite Schwarzenegger, not quite Stallone, but that B-tier action type movies there. Rather, they went not straight to DVD, but they went into theaters, but they weren't big hits, but they had like the cult following. I feel like this is one of those movies.
Canon. It's like a canon action film.
Yes, thank you, canon. Thank you, perfect. So yeah. That's why I just love this movie. Now again, I'm just gonna say Jason Statham's best movie is Wrath of Man. This one was just great, but in a different way. Where Wrath of Man you can kind of take serious. This one you don't have to take serious, and it's just a shit ton of fun. All right, so it is getting pretty late here, so we'll go ahead and move on to our number 3 here. And again, ignore the image on screen here. I have to make some adjustments here. But our number 3 best film of 2024 is not Fantastic Four. I'm going to need to make the adjustment here. It was actually Deadpool 3. So yes, Deadpool Wolverine is our number 3. No pun intended. Trust me, this was a tight race. So I'm going to go ahead and just flip this over to Joe real quick.
Well, I have to bring this out, but this was my number 1. My number 1, dude. I got it on Steelbook. I watched it in theaters 3 times. It's my best movie of 2024, hands fucking down. Dude, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman killed it. And so many standing ovation scenes. That's what you're looking for in a Marvel film. I mean, I know it wasn't MCU, but they did a nice send off for Fox, and I love this movie.
Very well said. Now I'm gonna go flip over to Wes of Reel Talk, man. Did you get the chance? I know you're not a superhero guy, but did you see Deadpool and Wolverine?
No, man, no, I did not. Just another one. Deadpool never really appealed to me. Now I do like Wolverine, and since so many people enjoyed this movie, I did think about watching it. I don't think I really have to see the first couple of Deadpool movies. I do understand the character a little bit, so I did think about watching it. But again, just another blind spot. Time has gotten very limited for me, so I really seek out stuff that I really feel like I'm going to enjoy before I sit down and watch it. And I think I'm just getting to a cynical age where I just didn't really think the movies were very good in 2024 or 2023. So I'm hoping for a better year this year.
No, that's well. So I'm just gonna say I'm with Joe and I'm with Wes on this one here. Now I'll flip it to Lance and Sean, but I'm just gonna say this. I acknowledge this isn't a good movie per se. However, it was the most goddamn fun I had in the movie theater in 2024. It was so much goddamn fun. Joe was right there with me. I lost my goddamn mind. Spoiler alert: when Wesley Snipes showed up as Blade. All right, that was just yes. And I don't want to get too much into this. We covered this movie. We did spoiler and everything, but this was the most fun I had in theaters. But I will also say, along with what, this is not a good movie per se from a movie perspective. It's a roller coaster ride, and sometimes I want that. That being said, go ahead, Lance. We have Deadpool 3 at 3.
I was gonna say real quick, and sorry, Lance, cut you off. I think there's something to be said for that, though. That going to the theater is expensive, especially these days with how expensive everything else is. And if you go to the theater and have that much fun, that's why you go, right? So I'm glad that you had a great time going to the theater and watching it. So there's something to be said for that. And anyway, I don't know why I threw that out there, but I like to hear when people, they spend that money, they go, they're anticipating, they may have their snacks and their buddies with them or whoever, and then wind up having a blast at the theater. That's why we go to the movies. So it's good to hear that there's still those experiences out there.
Yeah, that's what this movie definitely fucking did. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lance.
I was gonna say, Wes and I actually are probably on the same exact page when it comes to these kind of movies. That being said, I actually thought this was a fun one. I saw it. I liked it. I was against it because I know I'm going to sound crazy, but like Logan was that's my superhero movie. I love the fact that he has a bolt. He wants to blow his fucking brains out because he doesn't want to be alive. Like that's how you deconstruct a hero, because we still have the hero's journey. I love being an alcoholic. I love being sad. I love being old. Like that's my shit, but done right. Unlike like Dial Destiny, where it's like he's old and sad. It's like, but why? This is like, no, it makes sense because he fucked up and all his friends are dead. I like that. It's not sad. It's good. It's meaningful. So the fact that he's going to come back, I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm not digging it. Not my thing. But I liked it. It was fun. I laughed a lot. And I think Jackman gives a speech in the car where he's just like, no joke. He's fucking crying. I'm like, dude.
You couldn't even keep
I forgot that we could have heart movies again. Everything's up fun. Yeah. But, again, I'm the worst guy to talk to because I can't say anything good. Like, I can't be like, because it ties in this. I didn't give it the cameos are fun. I had a good time. I laughed. That's all I can say. Yeah, and honestly, made me kind of like Madonna's song, and I've never liked Madonna's song, so that's interesting.
That song is just gonna be everywhere from now on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, man. I swear to God, I've seen the video, growing up because it's such a controversial video that we used to play in VH1, and then I was like, I never heard the fucking song.
Dude, I will tell you that I listened to Bye 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 for about a week after that.
So, yeah, I mean, hey, again, not my kind of movie, but I liked it, so that should say something, I guess. I had fun.
All right, Sean, go ahead. We have Deadpool 3 at 3.
This wasn't in my top 10, but it's like a good 7 out of 10 type movie. Wesley Snipes coming back was one of the coolest things, though, because I avoided all spoilers in that with this thing, because I was like, but to be fair, I wasn't like mega hyped for it, because like I'm in MCU fatigue mode right now.
Yeah.
But this one felt like it was like, okay, it's gonna stand up, it's gonna mock things. I was a little iffy on Hugh coming back, but I love the fact that literally the first scene is Deadpool digging up his corpse for money, basically. Like, if you're gonna do that, that's a funny way to do it. The bye scene's great, and Channing Tatum got to be his Gambit meme all over the place, and like it felt like a movie. It's like it didn't really care about the rest of the MCU. It just kind of like was more like a swan song for the Fox films, and I kind of like that aspect. Like the story's a little bit messier than the first 2 Deadpool films, but this is not what it's trying to be a buddy cop basically movie with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. And Hugh Jackman, like, he brings his A game. He finally got to be in the yellow suit, and it's like, man, why didn't we have that earlier on? It looks so much better. And of course, he always brings it when he's Wolverine, even if he's in a crappy movie. Like, he just gives it his all. Like this one, like he was just really passionate. But you felt like this wasn't like a paycheck role. Like he really wanted to be there because him and Ryan Reynolds are like best friends anyways.
Yeah.
So like he just brought it in every scene. Like I said, Wesley Snipes coming in was cool. Even Electra getting a little shine. And I knew as soon as I saw Chris, I was like, oh, he's gonna be Human Torch. I'm like, it's definitely not gonna be Cap, and that's what was a fun little bit there too. Because I'm like, yeah, he did say he was done as Cap, but Johnny Storm, a little bit more interesting stuff there. But like, it was a good movie. Like, it was a huge monster hit. Does that mean the MCU is gonna be huge monster hits going forward? I don't think so, because this is more like akin to like nostalgia, like the Fox films.
Yeah,
it's
like
kind
I
of
said earlier, like this was separated from the rest of the MCU basically.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel the
basically.
same way about Fantastic. Like I'm just gonna say this right now. I expect Captain America to flop, but I think Fantastic Four might do good because again, that's separate from
Right. It's
So
gonna be a
that's-
packed July.
Yeah. All right. I guess we can move on to number 2 now. Before we get to our number 2, I'm just gonna say one thing. I have to say it. There is a little bit of bias here because I had the pleasure of interviewing the cast. So. That being said, I kind of gave it away. And don't mind the image on screen, guys, but at number 2 is actually Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Let me just swap this little video out. It's not Tom Cruise, guys. But yeah, at number 2 is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So, Sean, I'm just going to keep it right over to you, man. Our number 2 is Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
That's my number 2
Go
on my list
ahead.
anyways as well. I think this is by far, the best video game movie ever made. In my humble opinion, I thought Keanu Reeves was great as Shadow. I love the stuff with like him and Rhea, especially. I kind of wish we spent a little bit more time in that. But like immediately, like they don't do exactly the same as like the games where she's sick and all that. But here it's like it almost makes it almost more tragic because she was a normal kid and like she just unconditionally just cared for Shadow right from the get go. Like there was this compassion with her. And they don't shy away from her death too. Like they don't I mean it happens, but like they don't show like the gory details, but it's just the reaction of Shadow and Robotnik is enough to kind of sell you on the whole thing too. It's funny, Jim Carrey in both roles, like even have that fourth wall break there. There's like a good character arc with him and like Sonic and Shadow and Knuckles. I just love like Idris Elba. Like Knuckles might even be my favorite like of the bunch because he's just so entertaining. I wish Tails got a little bit more to do, but this one, like, I can't wait to watch it again. I mean, I've watched a lot of the clips several times over, but I just think this one was great. Like, it's clear that the people making the Sonic films love the source material they're working on. Like, it doesn't feel like a paycheck job, but they clearly care. I mean, Jim Carrey, I guess allegedly he did get a script written in gold ink because he said he was retiring, so they just actually wrote it in gold ink to hand it to him. But he's like, okay, I'm playing 2 characters. Like, for somebody who said he was retiring, like for him to come back shows he really loves playing Robotnik. But here was like they did some interesting stuff with it too. And if this is his swan song, which part of me thinks it's not going to be, because I've heard some things about Sonic 4, but it's like he did such a great job in that dance scene. Dun, 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 dun. Like it's been stuck in my head like ever since. I don't know, like the Sonic, and they even made like the Shadow Loves Latinas meme reel, which is very funny too.
Yes.
I just thought, like I said, this movie was great. Like it was I loved it leaving the theater, and I can't wait to own it when it comes out on Blu-ray.
Same here, because like I said, I got a personal bias for this film. All right, now I'm gonna go over to Wes. I'm a little scared of what Wes is gonna say. However, Wes, I know you have a young son, so I'm hoping there'll be some kind of glimmer of hope that you don't dislike this movie or have some kind of interest. So go ahead. Wes, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3 at number 2.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get to talk any movies tonight. I've not seen Sonic. I've not seen Sonic 2. And, of course, I've not seen Sonic 3. But I did watch your interview that you did with the cast. I did watch that. You did a great job with it.
Thank you.
Here's what probably ruined Sonic for me is whenever I was a kid, when Sonic the 2 video game came out, I was so pumped. I asked for it for Christmas. I used to draw Sonic. I had the poster in my room. And then Mom didn't buy me the video game because she didn't want me to have another video game. And so I think I've been jaded, since as a kid towards Sonic.
You know what? That is perfectly fine, but again, I'm not a father, but I'm just gonna say that I feel like if you have the time to like watch a film, with your son, and I've listened to your podcast, I think if you and your son and your wife too went on the Sonic journey, I think it would be great for all three. I'm just saying, like this is it's family fun at its finest. I'm a little biased when I say it, but I truly feel in my heart of hearts that you and your family would enjoy this together. I really do. Paramount Plus.
Even the Knuckles show I liked.
I hated the Knuckles show. I'll say that. I didn't like the Knuckles show, but I love the 3 movies. All right. Before we get to Joe, Lance Velchik of Needlessly Nostalgic Podcast, Sonic 3 at number 2.
I don't have any kids, but I liked it, man. I was raised in the console wars, and I picked Sega. I will always love Nintendo for I own them. I have a fucking Switch right in front of me. But came to Mario and Sonic. When I was a kid, I was like, yeah, everybody's picking Mario. I think I like the fast guy. So I've been a fan, man. I've been through some dark times. There's been like 25 years of bad games, I mean, we're just getting out of that, hopefully. So to see the movies come out and be good, I mean, they're fun. They're kids' movies. It's like, I don't know. I have a very surface level, I like my enjoyment. I think they're very cute, very charming. But the fact that we did it, I think it's better than the Mario movie, and that makes me happy. I'm like, yeah, there we go. Sega. Yeah, I know the Dreamcast died, and God rest its soul, but we're beating the movies. I'm back, baby. I'm back. So yeah, I dig it, man. I mean, I wouldn't probably own it, but like, if any kid was ever, if my niece comes over and she's like, let's watch a movie, I will go get Sonic. So that should be enough, hopefully, to placate the audience.
Yes. All right, Joe, go ahead.
All right. I've always been Team Sonic.
Yes,
and this is no different. I think Sonic 3 is the only video game movie to surpass MK95. And so I think it is the greatest video game movie so far. And Keanu Reeves did a great job as Shadow. I love the Super Sonic, Super Shadow, those scenes. It had some weight and gravity with Maria and her death and everything. Robotnik had Jim Carrey, the best freaking role for him so far in this day and age is Robotnik. And I think they actually made an extra scene to showcase that he didn't die, just in case he comes back. So, I mean, I think this movie just did so well, and I'm all for it. Just Sonic and Shadow, I love it.
All right, excellent. Again, I have a bias for this movie because I interviewed the cast, but I'm not ready to. Okay, so Lance said that it was better than the Mario movie. I disagree. Joe said it's better than Mortal Kombat. I disagree. But I really loved this movie. And before we get to our number 1, I'm just going to say it's just nice to see, other than Borderlands, that video game movies are on the upcoming. Like, thank God we're getting out of the era of, like, bad. I mean, don't worry. There's been some good ones, in my opinion. But I'm just glad we're kind of getting out of that era. We're finally getting to an era of good video game movies. So, guys, before we get...
30 years, huh?
Yeah, it took us long enough. But before
I like the Rampage movie, and I like the Tomb Raider 2001 movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's some that, like, in between, but I'm saying overall, it's just been, they've been awful. All right, so everyone, before we get to number 1, there's any wild guesses here at what number 1 is, and it was by
probably
far.
Gonna be Beetlejuice.
Not by far. This was number 1, far and above, and I'm happy because this actually lines up with my ranking. So, ladies and gentlemen, okay, again, don't mind the production here, guys.
Inside Out 2.
But anyway, guys, it's not Superman, but I got to change the video here. But guys, ladies and gentlemen of NerdCage Nation, the number 1 movie of 2024, according to our collective opinion, is actually Dune Part 2. It is our number 1 movie of 2024. Let's freaking go. So I'm going to flip it over to Wes here because I'm assuming you've seen Dune Part 2.
Yes, thankfully. We have a movie I've seen. This was my number 3 movie of the year. And right now, I think that Denis Villeneuve is... Him and Christopher Nolan are probably the best 2 directors, right now, as far as making movies. I really like Robert Eggers' stuff too. But I think that the story overall of Dune is almost a little too sci-fi for me, but I still loved this world that he's created. He is just such a fantastic director. The visuals were great. The action scenes were great. Honestly, I really didn't think. I thought Zendaya was a little miscast in this particular role. That would be a gripe that I have. I don't think she's a bad actress. I just think she's a little, I don't know, not right for this particular role. But Timothy Chalamet did a great job. Music is good. I love the opening. Kind of the opening scene was so awesome in this. And then the scene where I don't know what it's called, that butterfly or that hummingbird helicopter or whatever that is shooting at Chalamet as he's running across the desert. Dude, that scene is amazing. So yeah, I really, like I said, really enjoyed the movie overall. I still like Blade Runner, that he did better than the Dune movies. I really dug that Blade Runner movie that he did. But yeah, this is great cinema. Just again, the story for me could be a little, I don't know, just not quite up my alley. That was my only two gripes.
Dude, that's perfect. I'm just happy that we finally have a film in here. Well, besides Late Night with the Devil.
No, it's good.
I'm fine. We got one for you, Wes.
Well, I didn't see this until a little bit later, due to some scheduling stuff.
Yeah.
But it got me, after I watched it. It got me going back and watching some of his movies. Like I just watched Sicario the other night. Like I said, the Blade Runner movie, watched it again. And it's 2049, right? Blade Runner,
yeah,
Runner 2049.
I haven't seen it.
I always almost say 2047. That's why I kept calling it the Blade Runner movie. But yeah, I went back and watched some of his films because he's just so good. Prisoners is amazing. That movie is so good. So I just, anything he makes, I'm gonna watch, and I'm probably gonna enjoy. But yeah, we need more movies. We need more movies like this. Just that incredible craft that only very few in Hollywood possess.
Yeah. Before we get to our other members here, I just want to say, Wes, I also listened to your Oscar episode because I keep up with that too, and I just thought Dune should have had more nominations, but I think it was because it was a timing thing. But man, I just feel like Dune should be up for more categories. But I hope that I expected to win a couple, but I think it should have been nominated for more. And
well, the Academy notoriously screws pretty much everything up, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
That they didn't recognize the movie more.
All right. Let's go over to Lance from Needlessly Nostalgic. Dune Part 2 is number 1, man.
I'm going to echo Mr. Wes over here a little. It's not exactly my kind of sci-fi, but I'm absolutely willing to admit it's a beautiful looking, acted, directed, shot movie, how it's lit. I would say on technical aspects, this is a very tremendous movie. I saw it on the big screen. That was beautiful. Had a good time. It doesn't really connect with me personally. I think it's just because it's a certain type of sci-fi that I'm just not so much into.
Yeah.
Again, and I agree again with Wes. With Villeneuve, I always say his name wrong. I mean, he's done some of the best movies I've seen in years. Blade Runner 2049 deals with thematics that move me in ways that I can't talk about. Arrival talks about time, death, regret, love. This guy knows what he's doing. He's visually one of the best directors out there, and I think he understands pacing and storytelling. Dune itself is just not for me as much as it for everybody else. And I'm kind of the asshole that if sci-fi is not really for me, then I want to be weird. So I prefer Lynch's. This is a better movie, but you know what? If it's not going to be my cup of tea, get fucking strange.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, dude, I love, great guy, dude, great guy. Fucking wild at heart, Lost Highway. But regardless, Twin Peaks, great movie. It's not necessary for me, but I would support all you guys to say if it's number 1, if it does win an Oscar, it should. I want to support big, strange movies anywhere I can. So even if it's not my bag, I'll support it. I'm behind it.
Here's another thing that not worries me, but I hate when this happens with directors is you get a talent like him, and then he's basically will spend close to a decade in the Dune world. We're losing a decade of this guy's talent in the Dune world, and that's okay. Like they're good movies, but after this run of sci-fi movies, I would love to see him go back and do something like Sicario or Prisoners. And that's the same thing that's happened with James Cameron. He's just been. We've
Stuck in
lost him
Avatar.
to Avatar. It's it. Like
Yeah.
we
makes me
lost him to
sad.
Titanic, and then we lost him, to Avatar, and that's it. We
James
went-
Cameron hasn't been a director, in my opinion, since True Lies. I haven't
Yeah.
liked anything
That,
he's
yeah,
done
that's
since
for me. That's
True-
his last great movie, in my opinion.
He needs to
Sean,
make R-rated movies again.
Sean, before we get to you, I have another message I want to spew out there, and I've said this before many times here on NerdCage Live. I said many times here on NerdCage Live Gaming on Twitch. Nintendo, if you happen to be watching, if there's any plans for a Metroid movie, please, Denny Villeneuve is the man to direct a Metroid movie and bring Metroid to the big screen. Please, God, I'm asking the video game gods to grant me this wish, please. Denny Villeneuve for Metroid movie. Yes, and Sydney Sweeney as Samus, or Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie might be too old at this point for it. I'm just throwing names out there. But Denny Villeneuve has to be the director to bring Metroid to life. All right, Sean, go ahead.
Well, Dune 2 is number 8 on my list, and I'm somebody who didn't care much for the first Dune, like part 1 or whatever. I thought it was kind of boring for the most part, like not much. It's a part 1 movie, but like I even like trying to rewatch it, I'm like, this is kind of boring. Like I just started kind of reading the books. I bought like the 5 or 6 book collection but I haven't like sat down to kind of read them yet. But yeah, like part 2 was like, okay, we got the action going more, like they got all the boring setup done in the first part, so now we can just kind of jump into part 2. Visually it looks great, it's well acted. Some things I could have done a little bit better, like there is I think the Batista feud he has with the one guy, like they have this build up to it and it's really anticlimactic. I could have used a little more Christopher Walken, let him go a little bit more Walken-y, let him just go like a little bit over the top, have a little bit of fun with it. But like I said, from an action standpoint, it looks great. Visually, it's fantastic. I kind of echo a lot of what Lance said in his rhetoric about it. Like it's a very beautiful looking movie. Hans Zimmer score is great. Some of the memes out of it were pretty fun too, like the Lisa Al Gaib. I will say though, I am really disappointed that in celebration of this being number 1, nobody has brought out the popcorn bucket to, have a little fun.
Oh, you dirties! Not only that, it was like the dirty popcorn bucket, but now we have this popcorn bucket craze thanks to Dude.
Yes.
Every
So,
movie
we
has
gotta
to have
give
a
props
fucking
for that.
pop. Yeah. I mean, Dude really kicked that
Literally
shit off.
a fucking popcorn bucket.
All right, Joe, go ahead. Dune Part 2 is our number 1.
Yeah, well, I'm with Wes on this. I love the opening. I also love the fact that he got to ride the sandworm there, and the memes for that Lisa Al Gaib thing was fucking amazing.
Lisa Al Gaib.
So there's humor in there, and that end fight was everything in that movie.
Yes.
So yeah. So that was hands down my favorite part. I grew up on the Lynch movies, but these are growing on me quite a bit. And it was my
well said.
it's my number 3.
All right, so Joe, let's just do it. Your overall thoughts on the list, and go ahead and rip through your list.
All right, so I think this was an awesome rounded list. I think there's only one movie on here that wasn't on it, and that will be my number 5, which is The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling. I think that was a nice balance of action, romance, and humor. And then number 4 was Beekeeper. Number 3, Dune Part 2. Number 2, Sonic 3, and number 1, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Very well said. Yeah, I was gonna say, Joe, you had a heavy hand in this list. So I'm glad. There's a little bit of everything here. Wes of Reel Talk, go ahead, man. Your thoughts on this list, and then rip through your 10, my friend.
Seen a lot of list. So it's the 2 that y'all had on there that I've seen. I enjoyed them both, so I do appreciate that. My top 5 list. My number 5 was. Dude, you want me to do 10?
Yeah, go ahead, do 10.
I'll do the first 6 through 10 quickly, and then I'll talk just Number 10 was Smile 2. Number 9 was Kingdom of the Apes. Have loved all those movies. Number 8 was, and I am, I've got a 6-year-old now, so we're watching a lot more animated films than what I used to. The Wild Robot. Number 7, like I said, was Late Night with the Devil. Number 6, Wallace and Gromit. If y'all have not seen the new Wallace and Gromit movie, it is freaking hilarious. Funniest movie I have seen in a long time. Like, I was laughing my ass off. Number 5 was Sean Baker's Anora. I've really liked what Sean Baker has done with his last couple of movies, and I was so surprised that the killer from Scream Part 5 or Part 6 is a Mickey Madison, who, dude, she was phenomenal actress in this movie. I thought she was horrible at the end of that Scream movie. I was like, golly, this is one of the worst killers of the franchise. She is so good in this. If you guys have not seen this movie, it's we need more of these adult dramas. It's a little bit of a black comedy as well. We just don't get a lot of this.
Is
type
it
of
streaming
film.
anywhere?
I don't think so. Criterion, it's already on Criterion. Criterion has announced it and is going to be releasing it soon. I love that collection, and really dug this movie. Now, it is the beginning of it pretty raunchy, so fair warning. She is a stripper, but just the ride that you go on is good. Little too long. Little too. They could have cut off some of the looking for the Russian guy stuff. Number 4 was Nosferatu. Again, I don't think this is a great film. I think it is a really good film, and what captivated me the most is just the craft behind it. What Robert Eggers is able to do with his time period, and it's the Dracula story basically. Already said Dune 2, number 3. Number 2, this is my favorite horror film of the year. I love this movie, Oddity. Has any of you guys seen Oddity yet?
The one I haven't. It looks cool though.
Dude,
one of the best
awesome.
scares of the year. Like,
yes,
where she's watching the video camera.
Yes.
Oh, thanks. I haven't seen it. Now I'm gonna be ready for it.
But it has, and it's not just about jump scares. It's got a really eerie atmosphere to it. This was my favorite horror movie, and I went back and forth on whether it was going to be my number 1 movie of the year. So if you've not seen Oddity, you for horror fans, this was awesome. And then my final one, and I think as time goes, just what Lance was talking about earlier with the list and when they catch you, the night that I watched it, this was exactly what I was in the mood for, and it just was a vibe the whole time, and I was just on that wavelength with the movie. And I have really not cared a lot for these music biops. I did like Elvis. It was a little too over the top, but the second half really settled down and was a really good movie, especially that very end. But I went with a complete unknown. I really enjoyed this movie, and I used to think that Chalamet was just kind of like a little pussy actor dude, but I'm really liking this guy. Like he's got some chops on him.
He is really good.
He's coming around. He's growing on me a lot. He was awesome in this movie. I don't even really like Bob Dylan that much. Like I like some of his music, but man, this movie was good. Highly recommend. So sorry to spend a little bit more time. I just didn't really get to talk much movies.
This is
tonight.
crazy. I have everybody's fucking list on my phone now, so I can go through all these movies that I missed. I'm like, oh, okay. But no, Wes, I'm glad. Thanks for coming on board, and thanks for sharing your list with us. Lance, go ahead, man. I know you got yourself quite a crazy list, so.
I feel bad because like I don't do lists, and give me in a week and this list will be different. But hey, here's what I'm feeling tonight, man.
Yeah.
Because this is different than the lists. Tyler's like, I'll make a list. I made it, and then this is not the same. So whatever, man. I'm here to live life and just kind of go at the speed of whatever I can. So number 10 is Saturday Night. I grew up with this. My dad was that age. I grew up on Murray, Chase, Gadner, all that stuff. Like, so the OG SNL is just something that was, I'm from Chicago. It's like Blues Brothers is like very important to me. Like, I don't fight for a lot of movies, but I'll fucking fight for that one. Like, that's ours. We have it in our airport. This is a walk-in movie. This is a talking movie. I'm all about that. Rachel Sennett is fucking gorgeous, and I have a big crush on her. She's great. Jorge Smith pulls off being a douchebag like Chevy Chase can be. Gabriel LaBelle plays Lorne Michaels, and it's just, again, chaos, walking and talking. I loved it. Reitman did well by his dad and that crew, so I'm all about it. Number 9, Super/Man. I've been very clear about my
I plan on watching it.
Towards superhero films. It's just not necessarily my thing. I like a handful, but it's just not something I'm into. But I watched just because I respect Reeves and I know that he like had a good heart and like fucking did good things. And it's one of the best things I've ever seen. It's hard. It is hard. Like it's one of those, I paused, got up, and I was like, I gotta, you know, I gotta walk this off for a second.
And then seeing Robin Williams in there too.
But that whole thing about how Robin Williams stayed by his friend and helped him out, fucking, and Williams is important in my life because I saw those movies with my grandma, so it's like, ah, man, this one hit me. Number 8. Nobody's gonna agree with this, but I love A Wild Swing, and I'm alive to see fucking art. Megalopolis. It is ego-driven, it is bullshit, it is weird, it is stupid, it is laughable. I love a man who would spend his wine money and all the millions to make his vanity project. God bless him, fucking A. Live life. I had a blast. Was it a good movie? No. But I walked away going, oh, I saw some art. Good art? Who gives a shit? I saw art. And as the movies get more boring and more lame and more safe and more controlled, swing hard, swing away, sweetheart, because I don't get this feeling often where I'm like, oh, I saw somebody's movie. So The Substance, number 7, it's getting a lot of hype now. I feel bad because I really enjoyed it, but I didn't see any hype. I just watched it, saw a cool little movie, well-directed. Revenge is fantastic, the woman's first movie. It's body horror, it's gross, it's weird.
Yes!
Yeah, it has something to say. Which
Metal
is
as fuck!
Reasonable. I loved it, man. Had a blast. Number 6, A Real Pain. I didn't really think Jesse Eisenberg and Culkin would move me. But again, it's a walking, talking movie, and I don't know, man. This surprisingly moved me a lot. Kind of brought out something like I think on both these characters in a way. Just, you know, getting and talking with family and realizing that you've grown apart, but there's always that thing back. I don't know, man. I think we all go through that. Number 3, number 5, Late Night with the Devil, we talked about. Number 4, another one that got a lot of hype. I feel bad because I wasn't in the hype. I saw it early. Longlegs, loved it. Remind me of that old school, slow, creepy thriller. A lot of good sound design. I can't think of her name. She's fantastic in it. Well directed. It gets weird. I like things to get weird. I really am not the kind of guy who goes, oh, stay in reality. Fuck reality. This is nothing. Let's go somewhere else. I want to go. Van Morrison says go on the wavelength. I want that wavelength. So I liked it. Again, I understand if people don't, because if somebody said it's awesome for fucking 4 months, and I saw it, maybe not, but nobody said anything. I just put on a movie. Also, I love 70s stuff. So it's like Mark Bolan, fucking T-Rex, Transformers Rex. God bless, dude. Rock and roll. I liked it. Number 3, Heretic. Good thought and theology.
On my list. I've not seen
Hugh
it.
Grant talks for a whole fucking time and gives monologues. I'm a monologue guy, dude. I grew up on West Wing. You know, I love that fucking talk to me. Midnight Mass, stuff like that. So that's a monologue.
It's
movie.
on my
It's
list,
not for
Lance.
everybody.
I gotta tell you something. It's on my list. I want to watch it. The only thing is, I edited the interview for Joe Blow. I did not like how Hugh Grant was towards Chris. Like,
well, Hugh Grant is a known douchebag.
He-
But dude, if you go by that,
for those who
aspect,
don't
you can't-
know,
there's half the actors that we fucking, you know, it's like, dude, come on.
Hugh,
I mean, every actor
Hugh
that I
Grant
love
said a
is a piece of shit.
snide remark to my boss Chris. I did not take kindly
But Hugh
to
Grant
that.
is known for being a piece of shit. The girl in Mission Impossible talked about some douchebag on set, and they've realized it was Hugh Grant. So,
yeah, but the
I don't know,
movie
man.
looks phenomenal, so I do
Do you,
want to
I mean,
watch it.
it's
just
theology
after that.
talk for an hour and a half about religion, life, death.
Yeah.
And it's a horror movie, so like as the movie goes on, things are getting weirder, so it's
Yeah.
good. Number 2, another one that I didn't get any hype for, Strange Darling, Kyle Gardner, William Fitzgerald. It's a cool movie. It's a chase movie. I like a good chase movie. I'm from, I was raised in the 90s. That is good, man. Well acted, dramatic, intense, artistic in the right way. Good indie flick, man. I loved it. Number 1, I don't know if you've seen this. It's by the same guy who did Dinner in America. It's called Snack Shack. Connor Sherry and Gabriel LaBelle. It's a coming-of-age movie. Really reminds me of a vibe of like a Stand By Me or even somewhat of the Goonies. Even a bit of Clerks in a way, but just like a moment in time of youth growing up with your friends and hanging out. Done right, dude, that shit will take me back like a time machine. This movie hit me, man, hard. I was like, and it's in the 90s, but I was in high school in the 2000s, so it's like it was a lot of moments of my life where I was like, I did stuff like that. I was heartbroken here. I didn't kiss her. Like, just a lot of stuff like that, man. Beautiful fucking movie, charming, funny, a lot of swearing. I like that.
Fuck yeah.
You know, I was raised with Tarantino, Sam Kinison, George Carlin. So, let's throw a couple F-bombs out there that feel natural. That's it. That's my list. It is what it is.
That's
It's
what I'm
nothing
saying. I
crazy,
like
but,
everybody's unique taste here. All right.
I don't know.
Sean Wick, go ahead. Rip through your damn list.
All right, number 10, I have Sting. This is a movie I went for those AMC, like, you don't know exactly what you're going to see type of movies that they have on a Monday. It was unseen screen. It was a horror film, and I didn't know what the title was. Like, I had no idea what this movie was, but it was like a fun B, like, movie about an alien spider that comes in and starts killing people. Pretty fun, entertaining. Number 9, I have Abigail, which was my favorite vampire movie of last year, which boots Nosferatu off the list. 8 is Dune Part 2, which we already talked about. 7 is Terrifier 3, the Christmas theme and Art the Clown and all that I thought was kind of cool. 6, Beekeeper, which we already talked about. 5, I have The First Omen, which to me was the horror film that stuck with me the most. There's some really fucked up stuff in this movie, but like it's exceptionally well acted. Or just the hand scene. Like,
I'm going like this, like you know.
That when I was watching it, I had like a double feature with this and Immaculate like back to back. I'm like, all right, enough nuns giving birth to the Antichrist movies. But Immaculate's plot was so insane though that I just started laughing when they started explaining it. But this one, I feel like the only thing that kind of hurts it is the fact that it is kind of a prequel because like it was
there was a
they're kind of
big
like pigeonholed
retcon in there, but it worked.
But it was so good up until like that point. I'm just like this one was a major surprise. Like this, like I want to see this director's next movie because this thing was good, like really good. Number 4, I think, like I said, the ending just kind of like the part that kind of hurts it for me. But like up to that point, like the lead actress and all that, and like visually, it feels like a movie in the 70s. And like that first opening kill, oh man, like there's some really unsettling stuff in this one. Number 4, Beetlejuice. I just like the fact that Tim Burton seemed like he cared making a movie again. The set designs are great. Michael Keaton's hilarious. I just like I've been waiting for Beetlejuice 2 for so long, and we finally got it. Yeah, I feel like some of the plots don't really like add up as well. Like the stuff with Beetlejuice's wife could have been its own like separate movie. Like
I agree.
Together.
That's why it was my one gripe with it. But yeah, I agree.
It felt like it just kind of got like unresolved. Like I don't know. Like it felt like it got the short end of the stick. Number 3, Inside Out 2. I didn't love the first movie, but I really liked this one. I think going into anxiety and seeing like where they can keep adding more emotions with each film, I think that would be really cool. Number 2, I have Sonic 3, which we went over, and then number 1, The New Empire. I'm biased. I mean, you see the stuff like right here, but the most fun I had at the movies last year was going to the G-Fest screening of this, and going with a bunch of rabid fans. You know, Big Jack Films was there too.
Yeah.
Like people were shouting and screaming. Now, when the trailers were coming up for different movies, it was pretty funny. Like people cheered for Twisters, they cheered for the Beetlejuice one, they booed the shit out of the Mufasa the Lion King one, and it was one of the funniest things. But like it was like a room screening without the spoons being thrown. Like everyone just like cheering, shouting, having a good time. This is like the Schumacher of like the modern Godzilla films, like very toyetic. There's a lot of great what I love most about it is the nonverbal storytelling with the monsters, because there's like a whole like 20-minute sequence where it's like no dialogue whatsoever, but you can tell exactly what they're thinking. I thought that was really cool and like kind of impactful. It does feel a little bit quick towards the end of the film, and Godzilla kind of gets the short end of the stick once again, compared to Kong, but like, you know, he just had -1, which was an exceptional film all around. But I like how we went through this really serious one, then we kind of this more lighthearted one, and there's a lot of great action. I mean, the zero gravity fight's really cool.
Yeah.
Just a lot of creative stuff in that regards. Godzilla suplexes Kong off the top of the Great Pyramids, which is and then you have like Kong using
with his tail, remind you. So stupid.
That's what makes it awesome, though. He suplexes King Kong off the top of the Great Pyramids.
Yeah, you're
and then
okay.
Last thing too, I was saying when Kong takes Zuko and just uses him as like a pair of nunchucks and starts beating the other apes is the hardest I laughed all year last year. Even
it
you
was
couldn't
stupid,
help.
but I'll admit I did laugh because it reminded me of South Park. But Sean, I was gonna save this for last, but I guess I'll do it first. I have a whole bunch of movies I'm gonna go rip through, but I have 3 worst movies of 2024. And I'm only going to do the ones that I've seen, because there's a lot of movies I avoided because I knew they were going to be bad. But the 3 worst movies I saw: number 3, Madam Web; number 2, Godzilla X Kong, because it was the stupidest and worst Godzilla movie ever made. I can't sanction your buffoonery, Sean. That was the worst goddamn Godzilla movie ever fucking made. I've been watching Godzilla movies since before you were born, so I have a little bit of a bias towards the Showa era, and then I see this stupid fucktard of a movie. I couldn't fathom it. Anyway, but that wasn't the worst movie of 2024. The worst goddamn movie of 2024, and I'm gonna shit on your chest. Civil War. Fuck that movie. That's fucktard filmmaking. Fuck Civil War. Worst movie I've ever seen in years. Fuck that movie. Worst movie of the last year. Okay, I'm done. Now,
Of all the shitty movies, Civil War.
Civil War was goddamn horrible. So apparently, California and Texas are gonna form their own country, right? Wow! Come on, man. Like, how stupid can you be?
I had no interest in watching that movie.
How
It just
stupid can you be? California is very far left, and Texas is oh yeah energy. Sorry, Wes, not to make fun of Southern people, but Texas is so like oh yeah, like those two states don't like each other. Why they would form a country and go bomb Washington makes no sense. So stupid, fucking stupid filmmaking, stupid writing.
Concept of the movie, but I did not like the decision to follow the media around. It's like the journalists around.
Sounds boring. You know what? I'll take Kong with a robot arm any day over that, Jay.
At least Godzilla X Kong had a couple redeeming things, but goddamn, that fucking Civil War was so. Ugh. All right, anyway, I'll rip through. I actually have 20 movies, so yeah. So.
All right, I can't stay on too much longer. I gotta.
I'll rip right through it. So 20 Alien Romulus, 19 Abigail, 18 Y2K, 17 Long Legs, 16 Smile 2, 15 Bad Boys Ride or Die, 4 Inside Out 2, or 14 Inside Out 2, 13 Deadpool Wolverine, 12 The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, number 11 Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, number 10 Sonic 3, number 9 Late Night with the Devil, number 8 The Substance, number 7 The First Omen, number 6 The Beekeeper, number 5 Beetlejuice, number 4 Nosferatu, number 3 Gladiator 2, number 2, I don't know why no one's mentioned this one, Furiosa, and the number 1 Dune Part 2.
Crap, Furiosa even came out. I still haven't seen it.
So, yes, I had 20 for you guys because I did a lot of homework.
Also, Jay, honorable mention was the Superman Christopher Reeve story. Like, I didn't think about it until after, just because, like, sometimes I forget what I saw last year. But that one was exceptionally good.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, so I want to watch it. But even if I did see it, I probably wouldn't include it on my list because it's a documentary.
Yeah.
So
It's iffy with documentaries because, like, you can feel like a TV thing, but, like, because I did see that in theaters, but I'm like, it's technically the first DC Studios project because they bought it.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Like, it's.
Well, yeah. All right. So we'll wrap this bitch up. Wow, we went a little bit longer than expected, but we'll wrap this shit up. So, Wes, go ahead. Where can everybody find you and anything you want to promote?
Promote. We've been doing the podcast now for, I don't know, this is year 5, I guess. You can find us at, if you want to interact with us, join our Facebook group. That's really where all we interact now, but it's just Real Talk and then a movie podcast. We're on all the podcast platforms. Always fun to be on your show, Jay. We are about to do our top 10, 5 through 1. We did a 10 through 6 episode. Now the next one we'll do a 5 through 1. So you guys probably don't want to tune in for that since you just heard my list, but that's okay. But
we gotta hear the other guys though.
Yeah, right. You got T-Man and Gabe got their list, but it was nice podcasting with you guys tonight. Love the show. Good to see St. J and Joseph again, and then Sean and Lance. Good hanging out with y'all tonight.
Nice to meet you.
Maybe we'll do it again sometime soon.
Just wanted to throw this out. I was going to do it privately, but we'll end this quickly here. But I was going to say, I wanted to have you and Wes, you and Lance together on tonight's show because you guys both do movie audio podcasts and you're both horror fans. So hoping to get you guys to collab. I did this on purpose. I love bringing people together.
Yeah.
So speaking of needlessly nostalgia, go ahead, Lance.
Yeah. Me and Tyler Nichols have a genre podcast, same thing, talking movies, long form. I think we're on a little Stephen King marathon. We just finished up Carpenter a little bit ago. So yeah, every Friday at 8 a.m. I also do videos for Joe Blow Horror Originals. Me and Jay have the same company. Just did a video on best scene in the Terminator, and a couple months ago I did a little bit of a revisit review on Strange Days. with Ray Fiennes. So I kind of jump around over there, give it a watch if you can. We appreciate the support, and thank you, Jay, for always having me on.
Absolutely.
I know that my opinions can be sometimes contrary, and I do apologize, but I do like a good debate.
No, this is not an echo chamber, man. That's what it's all about here. I mean,
What makes it great? I mean, my number one movie was like one of Jay's most hated. That's what makes it fun.
Exactly. All right.
Even though he's completely wrong.
Go ahead, Sean. Anything you want to promote? Go ahead.
You can follow me like JT's Reborn on here. Mostly comic book stuff as of late. You know, some after the movies, which is just jumping in the theater and immediately like recording something, no editing with that. I'm working on a written review for Valentine's Day. I'm just trying to finish up the script with it, but I haven't because my last written script was like last year, but I've been just haven't had the time really to kind of work on them since I've been working and all that. But trying to get this one done, so hopefully it'll be out next week. Fingers crossed, I can just finish writing it by tomorrow and film and record it all, then the editing process. But like I said, other than that, not much else going on at the time. I do want to get later on in the year, a big Jaws week themed, so to be 7 days of Jaws, basically. First 4 days are covering the first 4 movies. The 5th day will just be all the books. The 6th day will be the board games, and the 7th day will just be video games and briefly talk about the ride. So looking forward to all that. Thank you all for having me on. Really appreciate it. It was nice to meet some of you, and yeah, it was fun.
Absolutely. All right, Joe. Let's just promote what we got coming up here. So, Joe, tomorrow night, Tyler's birthday watch party.
Yes, with Spider-Man 3.
Yes, so Tyler's good for business. He helped us raise a lot of money for St. Jude, so that's why we're looking forward to doing this.
He shaved his head on stream too.
Yeah, we're doing this birthday watch party. So yeah, if anybody wants to join us and watch Spider-Man 3, I haven't watched it since it came out in theaters, honestly, so I'm looking forward to watching that again.
Now dig on this.
Yes, and then Joe, Saturday on Twitch.
Yes, more X-Men Legends 2.
And then Tuesday on Twitch.
More Donkey Kong Country Returns in HD.
And then next Saturday, February 15th, top 5 games.
Yes, our top 5 most anticipated games for 2025.
And of course, we have to do this because it's NerdCage Live Monday. Spoiler discussion, February 17th.
Yes, our spoiler discussion of Captain America Brave New World.
God see us through it.
Good fucking luck, and I sat through Craven.
Yeah, so we'll see. But anyway, thanks to NerdCage Nation for coming on. Be sure you get yourself a NerdCage Live t-shirt like the one Joe was wearing, any size, any color, right for your skinny, booty color, fat, fuck, bigger, small. Wait, Sean, do you have your hoodie?
It's actually in the dryer.
Fuck.
There you go.
I was gonna say,
I know.
Sean got a hoodie to show it off. Lance, did your
I know.
shirt
I
come
literally
in?
I just wore it for the first time. I
Lance,
watched it.
does your shirt come in yet?
I mean, I didn't check the mail today.
Okay, it's shipped on Sunday, so okay, all right.
Okay,
yeah,
well, I mean, it could be there. It could be there. Thing is, it's just all bills. It's I'm not gonna check it every day. I need to be, some days I want to be happy, So I'll check it tomorrow. How about that? Yeah.
But yeah, if you want stuff, get yourself a NerdCage Live t-shirt. The link is in the description of this video and across the vast lines of social media. And speaking of social media, Joe.
Yes, if you want to get us on Twitter or Instagram, both handles are @nerd_cage. Our link to our Discord is in the description. Become a member there as well. And our Facebook discussion group, that is NerdCage Nation. We love everything you guys put up there. No spoilers, no politics, and for God's sakes, keep it civil.
All right. Well, listen, everybody. We have more shows to announce shortly. But, we got we got shows this week and next week. It's very awesome to be here for our 5th year. Season 6 is our 5th year together. So hopefully 5 more years. But yeah, thanks very much for all these fine gentlemen. Not only that they are fantastic content makers, they are fantastic friends as well. And I'm the luckiest nerd on the planet to be working with them. Also, big shout out to WilldBand. Be sure to subscribe to him as well. And he's got a new podcast coming out. So again, sub all these people up. And of course, we please ask you to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, spread that shit like syphilis so you are safe from your street, the land of the oranges, Syracuse, New York, to all our friends and fans around the world at NerdCage Live. As always, enjoy life, stay safe, eat your vegetables, do your push-ups, go to the gym. Good night, God bless, and have the best day of your life. And stick around for our awesome Twitch promo, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on YouTube for our watch party. See ya.
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match.
Shoot the J, Joe. Okay. Shoot it!
All right!
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe. It's all about you.
Kaboom! Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful.
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe. Run for your life, Joe.
Running.
Run faster. Oh no, Joe. The galaxy's doomed because of you.
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe.
Thank you.
Yo, that's diabolical. Wait. Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCage Live.
Ooh, trying to get out of the nerd cage, are ya? Well, before you go, hit that subscribe button. And if you're really intrigued, ring that bell. Thank you for dropping by. Until next time, tell everyone you know about NerdCage Live!